are. Holy shit. The Montreal Canadiens play tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. We are going to talk about this game. Now, I know people might be looking at the score and think, oh, okay, well, you know what? We lost an OT, or you lost an OT if you're not a fan of the Canadiens and just watching, which, by the way, thank you if you are one of those people. But you know, you might be watching and thinking, hey, it wasn't that bad. It was a 5-4 loss. We'll get into why this loss sucks, but firstly, we got Randy. Happy you're sure because we need to rant as well as you do. Oh yeah, Randy. I know the Habs fans definitely need to rant, especially after a game like this. Yoshi Bros not wanting to deserve an OT loss to the Bruins. That was a tough one to lose on. I mean, we were all on them tonight. Yeah, Yoshi Bros. I mean, I can't really have sympathy for either the Bruins or the Leafs, but you know what? Yeah, I mean, when you allow Max fucking Domi to score his first goal of the year, then yeah, you definitely deserve to lose that game, but unfortunately the Bruins just didn't. Lucas C, yes, March 14th gonna go crazy. Yes, indeed it will, Luca. Abso-fucking-lutely. But yeah. So again, I'm Harry Race. I do these post-game recaps. How we do these, if you are new here, is we go through the lines for both teams. I go through my little analysis, game recap, summary of events, all while talking with the chat. Why is my chat, by the way, not working? I'm pretty sure the chat would have come up by now. Sorry, boys. I'm going to try and... Okay, maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help the... Why? I just realized, yeah. Okay, then why is the chat... Yeah, let me move the chat over then there, actually, because that's probably going to be the default. There we go. All right. So, yeah. And then while we're talking with the chat afterwards, whatever, after the game is done, then we do the stats for the Canadiens. And we get on out of here. We get on out of here. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get into this. Anybody that has any comments, any questions, put them in the chat. I will get to them whenever I'm able to. So, the opening lines for the Canadiens were Caulfield, Suzuki, Monahan, Gallagher, Dvorak, Anderson, Pearson, Evans, Slavkovsky, and Armia, Stevens, Ullinen on the forward depth, the forward lines. Matheson, Lindstrom, Gouli, Barron, and Struble, Kovacevic are on the blue line. Jake Allen gets the unfortunate start in net tonight. I even knew after I wrote that this wouldn't go well. And Caden Primo backs him up, giving the newly extended Sam Montembeault the night off. We will get into the Samuel Montembeault extension. Believe you me, I did not come up here and stream for that the other day just because honestly, I didn't want to. I love Monty. It's just that I was like, yeah, no. I was mentally drained yesterday for some reason. I didn't even end up recording anything for 24 Days of Harry, so I was a little bit mentally drained, so I was just like, hey, you know what? We'll just talk about it in the next game recap, so... Yeah, we will do that in a minute. The opening lines for the Red Wings were Veleno, Quebec native, Larkin, Raymond, DeBrincat, Comfort, Rasmussen, Fabry, Perron, another Quebec native, I believe, and Costin, Fischer, Sprong on the forward core. Shame on the Red Wings for limiting Daniel Sprong to fourth line minutes. He deserves far more. Jake Walman and Walman Insider. Sherratt Petrie and Gustav Hall were on the blue line, so they had the top D pair for the Canadiens when Shea Weber went out of Sherratt and Petrie. Surely this doesn't mean that the Red Wings are going to finish out of the playoffs. Don't worry, they will. Ville Husso is expected to get the start in net for the Red Wings, and Alex Lyon backs him up as he should be doing at this stage in his career. So before the game, yeah, I don't know how to get into this. So, season-ending injury for Alex Newhook. He's out 10 to 12 weeks with, I almost said months. Jeez, that would have been really bad. He's out 10 to 12 weeks with a high ankle sprain. Yeah, that sucks. Mitchell Stevens has been called up from Laval for, I'd assume, just a small couple game call-up. He actually didn't play terrible tonight. I thought he was all right. Yeah, I was going to expect... I said I'll expect some shakeups until guys are able to return, so Harvey Pinard and technically Jack But, you know, like, until certain guys are able to come back, David Savard on the blue line, another one. Michael Pizzetta, I think, is kind of injured. I think. Why else wouldn't we be playing him right now? But yeah, I'm going to expect some small line changes in the meantime until guys are coming back. Samuel Montembeault, this is also something I put in the notes. He has been re-signed by the Montreal Canadiens, a 3-year deal that is worth $3.15 million per year. He's played very solid this year. He's got a 5-3-1 record, 2.73 goals against average, 910 save percentage. Yeah, he's been having a very solid season to start his year. I'd assume he'll get the go next game. I actually forget who we're up against next. I'm going to look that up now. We're against the Kraken. So yeah, I'd assume that I would assume that it's probably Monty that gets the start in that game. I mean, here's the thing as well, too, boys. We played tonight the 2nd, we played Monday the 4th, and then we're next up Thursday the 7th. So, little bit of a stretch between games. Honestly, I think now might be the best time to trade Jake Allen. Like, I think this isn't anything due to the game tonight. It's just there's been those constant rumors that, Habs are running 3 goalies. When are they going to trade one? When is Allen going to be out? Because Allen's been the consistent one that's been rumored about that he's going to be on the move. Allen probably is the safe bet to move on from. You could probably get a 3rd, 2nd round pick out of him, hopefully. Then again, goalies usually don't go for what they're worth and what fans think. So actually, I think we can get 3 first-round picks for Jake Allen. Maybe that'll help the market. We can get 3 first-rounders for Jake Allen. Let's just keep saying that. Maybe we'll get a first. Maybe we're lucky. But yeah, maybe that little stretch there could be where you get used to not having Jake Allen and just running Montembeault and Primo. I honestly think that could be best for what goes on with the that could be how it works best for the Canadiens. Harry, do you have a Discord server? Yoshi Bros, yes I do. Check the description if you're able to. There's a Discord link there. I notify viewers every time I go live or post a video. Not a lot of talk in there, but not a lot of talk in there. That's in the Sim League, which if you join the if you do join the regular Discord server, I can post a link to the Sim League in there. I think if you join the regular server in the general chat, there's a link for Discord, for the Sim League Discord, and you don't have to join the Sim League necessarily. It's just a lot of people are talking in there. It's a very, very fun server to get into. Honestly, like, I'm not amused with tonight's game. Wall was great, but if Willie didn't spill, we might have ended up going to the shootout, but don't know how well it would be against them. The fucking annoying little, like, heart thing is there, so I couldn't read it. I had to read it on stream. Thank you, Harry, from, like, 3 months ago for actually putting the chat box there. Thank you. But yeah, I completely get that, Yoshi Bros. I mean, with William Nylander, how good he's been this year, I think him accidentally costing one game, I think there's really not much of a complaint there, you know? Now, if the Leafs end up going on like a losing streak, if they lose like 6-7 in a row, then yeah, you can stem it back to, hey, it started with William Nylander spilling during the game against the Bruins. But for me, I wouldn't necessarily go out to say like, hey, you know, if Willie doesn't spill, you know, because I mean, you guys had to come back twice in the game. I think Matthews tied it with 4 seconds left. I think I saw. They had also come back down, I think 3-2 or 2-0. I think it was something like that. Trying to recap when you guys played the Bruins, the one where you won 3-2 in OT was great, but in Boston losing 5-1 wasn't good. Yeah, kind of Yoshi Bros. It kind of does make sense like that. Like when we really dominated the Bruins and we got out of there with the 3-2 win in OT. But yeah, like you said, losing that 5-1 game that was not good. But again, it also has to do with the consistency of a team. You know, the Canadiens, from period to period, kind of aren't consistent, and that's been a theme for the past at least 8 games. You know, that's been the consistent theme right now with the Canadiens, is that we don't play a great first period, kind of a lazy first period. Second period's okay, and then the Canadiens play pretty well in the third period. And sometimes the game's out of reach. Sometimes we're lucky to be tied. Most of the time, when it's like that, it's Sam Montembeault standing on his head. You know, so I definitely think that with the Canadiens, I don't mind the line changes, especially with Newhook being out, if you're able to get out of those lazy habits, which they are really bad habits of playing lazy first, okay second, get good in the third. I think if you can get out of that by placing certain guys where they might not usually fit in, if you can get out of those habits and then revert back to the same lines that were playing lazy but have them playing well, I think that'd be fine. Like, there was a lot of people I saw bitching and moaning that Slafkovsky was on the third line. And hell, the fucking lines tonight didn't even stick for long. I think Slafkovsky was back on the second line by the end of the night. I know Evans was on line with Monahan. I know it was Armia that was put on the first line at points during the third period. I think it was the early to mid third period. But I did see that. Like I said, Armia was placed on the first line. Monahan was moved to second line. Dvorak was on the third line. Evans was moved to the wing. And then I think the third line became something like Gallagher, Dvorak, and Anderson or something like that. But the lines definitely got shuffled by the third period, and I think it worked, actually. I think if you could maybe go with what even though I wouldn't necessarily want to have Armia on the first line for a whole game, maybe you try that out against Seattle. I mean, worst case scenario, you give up 2 points to a Western Conference team, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot, especially since you're a team that's supposed to be in a rebuild. If these are your lines that end up get you going for an entire game, I'd be fine with that if it gets you going, of course. Now, if it's another lazy first, okay second, good third, then yeah, no, obviously it's less to do with I think the line combinations and more so the overall players. I definitely think I think there's something there. With Caulfield, Suzuki, and Armia, I actually thought that Suzuki with Caulfield and Monahan would have been a really solid line. But surprisingly, they really weren't super noticeable until Armia was put on that line. And Monahan was given the second line. Surprisingly, not a lot there with that first line that worked very early on in the season. Who do you think will start in net versus the Kraken next game? I think it's Monty. I think you do give him the reins against a good, decent team like Seattle. Sorry, I gotta drink some glass of my Pepsi I have here. Fresh off his extension, I do think you give Monty his first game post extension, I should say, and start giving him, I think, more and more tougher games. You've given him some tough games already, but I think against like full out tough opponents, like. Technically, the thing would be actually play Primo against the Kraken and then go to Monty against the Kings. But I do think we probably go Monty, Primo, and then if he's not traded, Allen, and then Monty, Primo, Allen, and keep that rotation going. But I would start Monty next game. He went live for a loss. God is real. Suns, yes, indeed. Literally, like, my morale was so fucking low by the end of this game, but I already had Streamlabs open. I was fixing the stuff, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't care how tonight goes. I'm gonna go live. And by the start of the third, like, I was just like, God, I really don't want to go live, but I was like, I can't upload 2 videos during 25 Days of Harry like this. Like, December is literally the only month where it's like I cannot post a video for the recaps, at least until Christmas, technically. If only the Canadiens played on Christmas, low-key, it'd be chaotic, because we have family over, as most people do. But it'd be really fun to have a Canadiens game on Christmas. It's just great that the NHL, though, allows their players to actually go see their families and spend time with them on Christmas, unlike the fucking NFL. But yeah, it sucks that I do have to go live. Like, even if we end up losing a game, say like 10-1, if we lose a game 10-1 this month, which again, yeah, you know, which I'm really hoping doesn't happen this month. But if it does, I still have to go live because I'm not just gonna disrupt the flow of 25 Days of Harry just to upload a Habs recap video. I have to go live during the month. The only way I don't is if somehow we have a massive snowstorm, which actually, boys, speaking of, we are supposed to apparently get, I think it said 15 to 20. I can actually look on my phone right now because I have the app as well. But we're apparently supposed to get like 15 to 20 centimeters of snow tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be that much, but we are apparently, no, I don't care about my weather assistant. Thank you. I got it. I don't want to click on the McDonald's ad. Snowfall warning. Yeah, so we're supposed to get about 15 centimeters from Sunday morning to... Okay, so Sunday morning and Monday. Okay, so it's actually not. I thought it was supposed to be all of Sunday, but no, it's Sunday evening into Monday. We're supposed to get, yeah, like Randy said, 15 to 20 centimeters of snow, exactly. We're supposed to get about that. Apparently we will get rain mid-tomorrow. Is it mid-tomorrow? No, yeah, mid-tomorrow. Mid-Sunday we will get rain, and that's going to change into snow late in the day, so... I actually do have something funny planned. I do want to do a video outside. Tomorrow might be the time to do it. I really hope I can do it because I gotta remind myself, like, hey, get up, you gotta film this video. But yeah, we are supposed to get snow. I don't think it's gonna affect a potential stream on Monday for the game against the Kraken. On the very off chance that it does, I'll probably go live the next day instead of just doing a video. Of course, that's dependent on if the power's out, B, if it's the Wi-Fi acting wonky, or C, if nothing happens. Obviously, if nothing happens, we'll just come up live like normal. If power's out, I probably can't even watch the game. But if it's B, if it's just the Wi-Fi acting up, then yeah, I'll record the game. And worst case scenario, I'll just do a video and upload it when I'm able to. Or actually, technically what I could do is I could actually do a video, put it on my Google Drive, because I have that... no, it just works for Google Docs offline. Fuck. Maybe I'll just do the video like on my phone then. Maybe that's what I would do. But yeah, this could be bad for your team with Newhook out for 10 to 12 weeks. Which player might come up to fill, in Newhook's spot? Technically, it was Dvorak that was the second line center to start the night. So technically, he and Monahan took Newhook's place, at least on second line center. In terms of like a call-up from Laval, it was Mitchell Stevens tonight. I don't know who it ends up being, though, long term. Like, I know I've seen Habs fans saying, oh, we should call up Joshua Waugh, give him the chance, but I'm torn on that. I'm torn, honestly, on the... And I just realized I forgot to do something. Son of a bitch. God damn it. I was gonna do something before I went live, and then I just completely blanked on it. I downloaded the picture and everything. Or the GIF, I should say. I downloaded the GIF, and then I just completely forgot. Where the fuck? There it is. Alright, there we go. So, put you up there. And, nice, there we go. So we'll get that going in the corner. But yeah, I've seen people saying, oh, we should call up Josh Waugh. But I would let him cook in the AHL for a while. I would honestly let him stay there and let him just... get his game going. Let his game get going. Let him really get the confidence up. And then I think after the deadline, if Newhook is still hurt, B, if we've traded out, say, I know Dvorak and Pearson probably get on the move. Monahan maybe as well. Of course, it depends when we end up moving guys. If Monahan is even one of those guys that moved, it also depends on where we are in the standings at that point. But if we're out of the playoffs, of course, those guys getting moved, that's when I think, firstly, obviously, you sign Lane Hudson, I think, and you also probably call up Joshua Waugh, Sean Farrell. You start to call up some of the younger guys just to give them a chance after the deadline. That's when I think we end up calling up those guys. So I don't think Joshua Waugh gets the call up now. I would like to see it, obviously. I'm one of the Habs fans that would like to see it. But I don't think it will happen right now. Like I said, I do think that it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be more of just a, call up various different players, more veteran guys. I'm actually looking at it. Unless he's still hurt, I'm very surprised Elias Anderson didn't get the call up instead of Mitchell Stevens, because I know Anderson's a guy who can play center. He's also, I believe, left winger. I'm very surprised he didn't get the call up from Laval. But maybe this is the thing where they give Stevens a couple games, send him down, call up Elias Anderson, send him down, call someone else up. It could be a rotating type of thing, like I said at the start of my notes. I could see that being the case. And I already mentioned Randy's in here, but hey, how's it going, Randy? Thank you for coming back. Harry, you can't just go live and the Habs win. We all want to rant and or cheer on that. I know you do, Randy, but it's just the last... I had to take the last chance that I could to post a video for the next month, roughly. I had to take that chance. I had to take it. So it was just like, hey, fuck it, why not? GG Salty Wings, Salty Wings. I thought we'd let Josh Anderson score. Salty, when Lindstrom ended up scoring, like Randy said, yeah, he had a great pass to Lindstrom. When he ended up scoring that goal to tie the game, I thought Andy was going to take a backhander. And for like a solid second, it felt like time slowed down on that goal. Because it was like, I just saw Andy like spinning in slow-mo. So it was just like, God, please don't shoot it, please don't shoot it, please don't shoot it. And then he fucking ended up passing it. And it took me like a second to realize, oh, he actually passed that. And that's in the net instead of just it's in the net. It took me a second to realize. So it was just like, oh my God, thank you, Andy. So yeah. Andy, technically I shouldn't even be using the milk carton, but I'm using it because he doesn't have a goal. So, yeah, if we're talking point-wise, this shouldn't be here. If we're talking goal-wise, then yeah, it should still be here, unfortunately. But yeah, at least the Habs came back exactly, Randy. Like, that is one thing where it's like, you weigh the pros and cons. On one hand, yeah, we lost, and we probably deserved it in regulation. On the other hand, we came back and we actually showed fight, which... yeah, you know, at least we had fight. We showed that we're not a losing culture. We actually came back twice, actually, technically, but we'll get to that. Believe you me. Does Canada not measure snow in inches? Weirdly enough, I don't think we do, Sons, because I know that I on my app here it says 15 centimeters. I can probably change it, but I don't want to do that right now, and or B, I'm probably gonna. Never mind. Fuck it. We'll do it right now. Settings. Never mind. All it does is literally the unit of the temperature. That's literally all it is, right? That's all I can change. Thank you, Weather Network. Oh my OMG! Please, Harry, go outside. Harry X Snow. Sons, I'm not going to be collaborating with the rapper Snow. He's incredibly irrelevant. He's been irrelevant since 1991, since Jim Carrey parodied Informer on In Living Color. Shout out to anybody who actually gets that reference. Love you. But no, legitimately, I will be going outside. You guys, the only hint I'm going to give is that you guys will be seeing me like this. You guys will be seeing thick Harry. So, that's the only hint I'm going to give, boys. Yeah. Harry, hate to see it, but you need a piss dancing Harry. Jake Walman. There we go, Jake Walman. When the Habs lose to match the happy dancing Harry. I kind of do. Like, I honestly think it would be fun. Just have it. Just like off the side and just come in just something like that. Someone's gonna make that a GIF, I guarantee it. But but legitimately, I think that'd be really funny. I should probably try and get a pissed off dancing Harry for the losing. Technically, the dancing Harry should actually have the white jersey on, because the winning Harry ironically uses the red jersey. So maybe the losing Harry should have the white jersey. That'd actually be kind of funny. Yeah, Salty Wings, I knew he'd like the Walman. Yeah, the Red Wing Griddy. Yeah, Randy, I had to. I love Jake Walman. Funny enough, I actually wasn't even salty. I wasn't even salty after after he scored and did the Griddy. I was just like, you know what? Just, yeah, that's fine. Actually, funny enough, the only goal I cheered for that wasn't the Habs tonight. I actually cheered for Daniel Sprong. Spoiler alert. I did cheer for Daniel Sprong scoring. I'm a big Daniel Sprong fan. Congrats to Larks, aka the Owls. Firstly, welcome back. I recognize you. I did not realize that was his name, the Owls. I'm dying all of a sudden. But the Owls, I did not realize that was his name. Let his game... Shut up, Sons. Hey, here it was hilarious when you didn't realize you're... Dude, Randy, yeah, the funny thing, because I have the end stream, it's not just where, okay, I push the end stream button and the stream ends. It's always the, like, oh, click end stream, and then do you want to confirm? And it's end stream button, and that's how I end the stream. So I thought, like... So I ended the stream, and it's that, you want to confirm... I missed it by, like, that much. I missed it by, like, barely half an inch. So it was just, like you said, I didn't realize I was still streaming for, like, 15 minutes or whatever. I got a fucking Discord call. For anyone that's wondering, by the way, if you watched the end of that stream, why it sounded like I was just talking to myself, I wasn't talking to myself. I was on a Discord call, but I don't have the speakers being audible, so you don't hear, like, Discord notifications in the background. So during the regular streams, so that's why you couldn't hear anyone I was talking with, unless somehow you caught it on my headphones, my earbuds, but I doubt it. But Yeah, so like they let me know finally because they wanted to know the viewer count, how many viewers the stream got overall, and so like I finally checked and it was like, oh fuck, I'm still streaming. Yeah, so yeah. Larks is dealing with some shit. Yes, he is. Salty Wings. Yes, he is. I was gonna put that in the notes, but I didn't think that would be something that was really like appropriate. Like, hey, Montembeau got extension. All new hooks out, and that, you know, it's like, gee, there's clearly something like one of those things is bigger than the others. So it's like, didn't know if I wanted to talk about what was going on with Larkin, but yeah, I would have been fine if he had scored tonight. I told my dad right before the game started, I was like, the only two wings I'm fine with scoring, Dylan Larkin and Daniel Sprong. One of them did score. Larkin came damn close. He could have had a hat trick tonight, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, you know, Harry, I wanted the Habs, Leafs, and Isles to win tonight. Yoshi Bros, hell yeah! Please tell me at least the Isles won. I only got 1 out of 3 correct because that could put us one step closer to the Panthers. Looks like the Wings are closer. Yeah, Yoshi Bros, yeah. I mean, the Wings are kind of closer right now. But to be fair, just the third year of the Canadiens rebuild, and we're already competitive, very competitive. The first year with Dom Ducharme and the first year Marty St. Louis took over, complete ass. Until Marty took over, it looked okay. Last year, injuries. That's my excuse, was injuries. And then this year so far, despite injuries, fairly competitive, I would say. The power play is very predictable. Needs a huge stake-up. I agree. Absolutely. I definitely agree. The win the face-off, and if it comes out of the zone, the guy goes up to the blue line and then pass back, usually to Suzuki. He's the one there. The drop pass to Suzuki. That doesn't work. Like, we finally scored our first power play goal. What was it? We were 0 for fucking 28 beforehand. Like Andy should not be on the top unit, especially when you're Galley shouldn't be. Sorry, Gallagher should not be on the top unit. I think Anderson actually is too. They shouldn't be on the top unit when Juraj Slafkovsky is stuck on the second unit. Jesse Ullinen was on the first unit tonight, I'm pretty sure, and I didn't notice him whatsoever. I like Jesse Ullinen, but just he clearly does not deserve the first unit power play time that he's getting. Where's Caden Gooley on the power play? Why is he not out there at all? It's just like, yeah, like why? Like there's things with the power play that like, there's things I like. I think the adapting to guys finding Caulfield and being able to use other guys like Suzuki and Monahan, that was good. That is something I like. But just, it took way too long to realize that, hey, everybody's starting to really focus on Caulfield. We need to stop trying to straight up pass him the puck. And if he does end up getting the puck, it's because nobody's covering him. You know, and that's how we get Caulfield. You know, I honestly think in 3 years, the power play for the Canadiens might either be the best in the NHL or a top 5 power play in the NHL at the very least. Because you look at how many guys we have that could end up being on the power play. Caulfield, Suzuki, wishful thinking that he's still here. Matheson, Hudson, I should say wishful thinking for Matheson, not Caulfield, obviously. You guys know what I mean. But Hudson, Gooley, Slafkovsky, Waugh, Farrell, whoever we draft this year potentially could be for the power play as well. Hopefully a fucking forward. You know, so there's gonna be guys, it's like, we have enough power, and there's guys that I'm completely forgetting about right now. Newhook and Doc, obviously, those guys too. Reinbacher might also be a guy for the power play. Gooley, I think, could end up being there too. There's gonna be a lot of guys that will be able to fit on the power play. So, like right now our power play might be bad, but I know it's gonna be really good in the coming years. So it's just something where it's like, yeah, you know, it's like, it's frustrating now, but you gotta look ahead to where it's gonna be in a couple years and realize, okay, Burrows is gonna be fired, hopefully sooner rather than later, and we should have a pretty good power play in the next couple seasons. So fingers crossed that both those come true, and it's just a matter of waiting, I think. Mike Hullp, Ed, I'm assuming that's Simon Edvinsson. He was scratched in the AHL after getting 2 goals. Well, yeah, of course. How dare he? How dare a defenseman try and get goals? How dare he? How dare he do that? It's fun to see Red Wings AHL affiliates making mistakes. Not the prospects, but the actual like team, like the coaches, or whatever. Everybody's talking about 15 to 20 in America. That would be crazy. It would be, Suds. That'd be very fun. We're getting 15 inches of snow tomorrow. Naked Harry nicks that, Suns. No, as funny as it would be, to get that, I'm not gonna pull a Katy Perry in the 2016 election. If you guys haven't seen that or you don't remember that, there's a refresher for you. And also I'd have to censor some bits, and I don't feel like adding a pixel to the video, so I'm not gonna go naked. Yes, I know you're not salty. Shut the fuck up, son. I know you're not salty, you're hairy. Jesus. Thank goodness you didn't go full naked when you turned. Have a thumbs up on that stream just to see you talking, not realizing you were still on. Yes, sir. Yes, Randy. Yes, sir. I'm pretty sure, did I not like clean up my room a little bit on stream too? I just realized that. Didn't I like clean up some of the shit and put it in the garbage? I just remembered I might have done that as well. Yes, I was definitely talking to myself. I was definitely not talking to you, Sons, on Discord. I was definitely not talking to you and Sporty. Is Reinbacher struggling? Salty, as far as I know. I check Twitter every once in a while on my NHL Insider account, and nothing really to suggest that Reinbacher is struggling. I haven't seen any posts that, oh my god, how do we draft this guy over Michkov in like 2 weeks? So I'm assuming he's doing okay. Barzell has Luvid, and the Isles still won. Poverty Panthers. Oof, Sons. Taze, my parents had a miscarriage when I was 7, and it was extremely hard for them. I can't imagine what Lurk's going through. Dude, Taze, me neither, man. Like that I know is, like, that really takes a toll, and so, like you could honestly tell tonight with Larkin and just the way he was playing. There was 2 chances that, he easily should have put away. And like that you could maybe be like, oh, well, it's first game back in 3 games, blah, blah, blah. But no, like you just look at him on the ice at times, and it was like, you could tell he was still struggling with what had happened. Again, the 2 chances that he clearly missed that he should have had, it's just, there's something there that he's clearly, like, it's still bothering him, you can tell, and I can't blame the fucking guy. I can't blame him at all. I wish you guys drafted a forward. This draft is filled with demon. Well, Salty, yeah, that is true, but keep in mind, we didn't necessarily need just a top 4 D. Reinbacher is a top-level D that is what we needed, and it's what was best to draft at that point, probably, for us. I think this year, if we can get an Ivan Demidov somehow, because somehow, apparently, he seems to be falling down some ranks, I would not entirely mind getting him at all. And hell, here's the thing, even if we have, say, 5th overall, who's to say we don't end up trading back, giving up a defenseman, but you might get an extra pick or an extra prospect, for example. I think that'd be fine. I think that would be alright to do. Hey, buddy, great effort by the Habs tonight. Love number 17. He's playing well, but we need him to score. What would you do to get him scoring? John Monto, unironically, 4th line. Weirdly enough, like we've tried him on all 3 top lines. Weirdly enough, honestly, it feels like with Anderson, the game you put him on the 4th line, that's somehow the game he scores a game. He scores a goal. That's the game he, like, not only scores a goal, he gets, like, a goddamn hat trick in, like, 7 minutes type shit. Like, that is the type of game that Josh Anderson would probably have when you put him on the 4th line. I mean, Andy had a good setup tonight for the game-tying goal. The game-tying goal, yeah. So for the game-tying goal, yeah, he had a very good assist, played well. If he does want to start scoring, again, weirdly enough, just, I feel like you need to put him on the 4th line. I feel like for some reason that might actually get him into, like, hey, Anderson finally has a goal, you know? Harry, look at Dickcord. Oh, God. Is it the Grinch again? I really hope it's not the Grinch again. Yes, sir, Sons. Andre Vasilevsky with a 760 save percentage. Let's go, baby. Anyone who didn't see the game tonight, by the way, the Lightning got destroyed by the Stars 8-1. And just to give a very quick update on Andre Vasilevsky's return, he is now 1-3-0 with a 3.87 goals against average and an 859 save percentage. So, is Andre Vasilevsky's career over? We can only hope. Yeah, we can only hope. Probably, unfortunately not, but it would be really funny to see a $9.5 million pile on. So, yeah. Oh god, I just realized that we haven't even gotten to the actual like game yet. We've just been talking. I told myself before the stream, I'm not staying up here live for more than 45 minutes. And the past 30 minutes has just been spent talking to you guys, so I can only blame myself. Nikita Artemonov is a guy to look out for. I hate the fucking heart thing that YouTube has. To look out for that could fall. Maybe Yzerman. I like Yzerman. It would be really funny if the Red Wings drafted him. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think they're going to fall to a bottom 5 pick. But yeah, Evgeny Artemonov. Looking at the name, I don't feel like he pans out into an NHLer. Like, weirdly, again, there's certain guys, and again, keep in mind, Alexis Lafreniere was a guy I said was going to fall into the NHL, fall out of the NHL by 2025, and look at him this year. So, you might not want to take what I say as 100% gospel. You take it at like 85% at this point. But it just doesn't seem like a name for a guy who ends up panning into an NHLer. He's on Siliev's team. Salty, that literally means nothing to me. I have no idea who Siliev is, so that does not to me. I just see that and think, okay, what's so special about that? I'm not staying on more than 45 minutes. Sons, honestly, you're kind of right. Really, I didn't believe that. By the way, I hope you guys like how clean this area looks now. With like all the junk moved off of the fucking off of this area, all the junk moved. You can see the DVDs clearly. I hope you guys like this, by the way, because I like it. It looks really, really good. The only thing I've left are the DVD drive and the my wallet. I was trying to remember what the name for a wallet was. I couldn't. What's that thing that holds your money? You take it out of. Couldn't think of that for a second. He's a 6'7" D-man who's going crazy in the KHL with solid skating. Really? He's producing. You know what? I like the red guy on the right of the webcam. I like the red guy on the right of the webcam. Sons, yes, me too. I think Jake Walman is a very good hockey player too. Siliev. I'm gonna look up. I'm assuming it's Anton Siliev. Statistics unavailable. Thank you, Hockey DB. I fucking love you. Thank you, Hockey DB. So this is a dude who has, god damn, 3 goals, 10 points in 36 games, and just 6 penalty minutes. That says to me either he does not throw the body around, or he's extremely clean and he's able to hit without getting penalized for it a lot. So fuck, you know what, if I'm being honest, that might be a dude that's a dude I like already. I know, 6'7", those guys usually don't pan out, but like, think about it, my guy. Think about it. Like, Bob Cannon, Bob's your uncle. How's it going, my good sir? Thank you for coming by. Harry, look at Snap Story and just think of, he's gonna take your gifts as opposed to giving them. All right, I'll look really quickly, sons. His skating looks pretty good. Oh shit, nice. Oh shit, okay. Oh, that might be a dude I like. Sons, come on. Sons, you can't do that to me while I'm live, my guy. You can't do that to me. God damn it. Alright, let me get to the fucking game. I've got 7 minutes before I apparently wanted to leave. But no, that's not going to happen. We're probably going to be live for another hour somehow. But yeah, so the Red Wings pressed in the opening minute off a battle on the boards. Wings lead the shots 2-0, 3 minutes in. Wings then really suffocated the Habs in their own zone. It felt like 5 minutes of not necessarily keeping the same line out, but just 5 minutes of like, oh, the Wings get some chances. Oh, it's cleared. All right, come back in. Boom. They're, at the very least, they're just in the zone. There weren't many shots, but they just had the puck control. They were getting pressure as a result. And then there's delayed penalty to the Habs, so the pressure ends up working. However, it works too good because Joe Veleno gets the 1-0 leading goal for the Wings. A bit of a weird bounce right to him. Sort of a cross crease. It's a shot that goes off someone in front, right to Joe Veleno. He buries it on the wide open net, and that's the 1-0 leading goal for Joe Veleno. I like Joe Veleno. I think he's a half decent I think he's a half decent forward. I'm actually trying to look up right now how many. Like I looked up Joe and immediately started giving me Joe Bob Briggs. Hey, you know what? Props to him. He's got 6 goals in 23 games now. His career high is 9 and 81 last year. Yeah, fuck. If this is the year that Joe Veleno finally ends up panning out, almost a decade, almost 6 years after getting drafted, like that'd be nice. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'd like for that to happen. It's just, again, we'll tell. Joey's having a good year. Yeah, he is salty wings. I like Joe Veleno. It doesn't help. It helps that he's from Quebec, but granted exceptional status at 15 years old, and yeah, just dude is. I like Joe Veleno. I know there was like points last year where like Red Wings fans I think wanted to trade him, or 2 years ago. Or it was like he wanted to trade or something like that. And I wanted Montreal to kind of pick him up. I liked Veleno. I thought he could have been a useful fourth liner. But it looks like he's starting to develop, and I like Joe Veleno. I think he's going to be solid. I'm sure you covered it already, but what was that Walman Selly dance thing? Looked like Elaine from Seinfeld doing her kick dance. Yeah, Bobs, that is what's in the top right corner, as you can see. That is called the Griddy. That is a dance that I think it popularized because of the NFL, right? Or was it a TikTok thing that was in the NFL and now in the NHL? So, sorry, Walman is like the only guy in the NHL that actually does the Griddy. And as you can, did I say as you can saw? I swear I said as you can see. You're not gonna gaslight me, Suds. You're not gonna gaslight me. I said as you can see. I fucking guarantee it. I said as you can see. You're not gonna gaslight me that time, Suds. You're not gonna gaslight me into that one. It is from the NFL, yeah. So yeah, Jake Walman does it, and yeah. The Griddy, it's not the gritty, but the gritty, the gritty. So it's like the gridiron for like the NFL. It's the Griddy. So yeah, you went to say as you could saw, but you changed. Yeah, you're right. I did. So you don't fucking gaslight me into that shit. Bro, if the Coyotes make the playoffs and they wear that Arizona jersey, I'm gonna be kind of hard. Suns, me too, low key. But yeah, Bob. So that's the Griddy. It does look more like the Goofy, but you know what? I love it. A lot of people like it. It's very fun, and honestly, props to Jake Walman for being able to do it on the goddamn ice. He's the only guy I'm pretty sure that I've seen do it on the ice. So yeah, there you go, Bob. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like I said, NFLers do it. Walman's like the only NHLer that does it. It is different, Bob. Exactly, it is different. Instead of going right over celebrating with the boys or whatever, it's like, hey, let me do this thing for a minute first. Let me do this, and then go over to celebrate with the boys. But but yeah, it's sort of like this. You fucking yeah. Yeah, I still can't do the floss either, Bob. Like, I don't even know, like, my arms cannot, like, get there. I cannot be, like, the fucking backpack kid. So it's like, I can barely do the goddamn Pee Wee Herman. So, yeah. Blues are legit so fucking mid, Suns. Yes, they are, dude. Or, sorry, so fucking mid. Yes, they're very mid. I mean, it's the St. Louis Blues. Do we expect anything other than just pure mediocrity from them? Like, I feel like we really don't. But yeah, so it's a 1-0 game. Habs then get their first shot halfway through the first on a dump that just happens to get on net. Wings leading shots 5-1. Habs then go to the power play. Larkin is called for a hook on a Habs press that only generates a Matheson glove save, and then they call the penalty. Habs on the power play. Barron loses his footing. Wings get a 2-on-1. Slough tries to skate back in time. There's a shot. It's on Allen's pad. Think to look around him for where the puck might be. And it's buried by Christian Fischer. Gets his second of the year. Both of his goals have come against the Montreal Canadiens this year. So it's a 2-0 Wings lead. Habs are 0 for 1 on the power play. That came a minute in, the goal. I don't think I needed to recap the second half of the power play. So yeah, the Wings lead 2-0. I think it's 2 goals on the first 8 shots of the game. So I really did not like what was going on. Suzuki then gets clipped up high. There's no penalty. Honestly, with how the power play is going, it was probably a good thing. Wings then have control. Caulfield on a near break shot just goes wide. Habs get a good chance. It's flipped up into the air. Pearson gets the chance. He just misses wide. Mitchell Stevens, who by the way wears number 13, also I should point out making his NHL debut. Not NHL debut, his Habs debut. Sorry, he's played before. He played with the Wings previously actually, but his first game as a Canadian, I should say. Has a good pass right in front. Ullinen just can't find a bouncing puck. Habs then try to press, and off the, sort of against the flow of the play. Not really. It was more back and forth at this point. But against the Canadiens' momentum, it's a 3-0 Wings lead as my boy, Daniel Sprong, gets the goal off a turnover. Another 2-on-1 for the Red Wings. There's a good wrister past Allen. That just goes top shelf. I put that should hopefully end his night, and surprisingly it wouldn't. And fun fact, we score. That goal came with about 50 seconds left. With 6 seconds left, a turnover causes Suzuki to get a shot. The rebound gets right to Barron, and he scores his 5th of the year. Makes it 3-1 Wings now. So Canadians finally get something in the dying seconds. We'll see if that ends up being a momentum changer for the Canadiens that they need. There's some paper on the ice. It looked like there was like confetti. Apparently they mentioned the Jonas Brothers had a concert last night in Montreal. So, and there was apparently that's what it was some remaining confetti falling onto the ice. There was a delay for like 2 minutes where they were discussing, do we get the ice crew out to clean it up? They were talking. There's 6 seconds left. There's 6 seconds left. It's like, what do we do? And they eventually decide, fuck it, just drop the puck, just kind of rag it, whatever, toss it down the ice, and that does it. So they just take the intermission to clean the ice off, Zambonis and all that, so kind of funny, but yeah. Hey Harry, just to put into perspective how long a rebuild takes to pay off with the Oilers, for example, McDavid 9 years in the NHL, Draisaitl and Nurse have 10 years, Nugent Hopkins is 13 years and 0 cups. Please tell Habs fans to be patient. Bobs, yes, absolutely. I completely agree. I think it's 2 different situations, though. I think it is definitely 2 different situations. I'll get to that in a minute. Can you imagine how the Oilers fans must feel? Oh, Bobs, yeah, exactly. Like they never once, throughout their initial rebuild and their time contending right now, like there's no way. To me, there's no way. Like any Oilers fans that I've seen talk about the team, they've never said, oh, well, clearly the problem is insert star player here. Oh, insert guy who's producing here. Trade, insert good goaltender here. It's never been that. It's always been fix the D. We need depth. Why are we playing so-and-so with McDavid? Because why are you playing Anton Slepyshev with Connor McDavid? It's just like right now, why were you playing Connor Brown with Connor McDavid? So I completely get that rebuilding takes a long time to pay off. However, there's 2 very, very different situations. And firstly, with all due respect to our drafted and other players, the Oilers guys are way better than ours. But here's the thing as well, Bobs. Here's the thing as well. There is a massive differential. The Oilers had first overall in, I gotta look up their draft history. Actually, I gotta remember how many fucking years they tanked in a row. So actually, this is gonna be actually a good way to compare and contrast the Canadiens and the Oilers. So the Oilers from 2000 and why not? We'll go from 2007 onwards, because that's really when they were kind of trash, was 2007 onwards. 06 they made the playoffs. They completely fell apart in 07 and then onwards until like 2017. So 2007, for 6th overall, they draft Sam Gagner. 2008, 22nd overall, Jordan Eberle. 2009, 10th overall, Magnus Pajärvi. It's weird that some people might say, oh, Sam Gagner at 6th overall when he's weirdly enough been roughly half a point per game in his career. Magnus Pajärvi just kind of sucked. 2010, 1st overall, Taylor Hall. 2011, 1st overall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. 2012, 1st overall, Neil Yakupov. They drafted basically an entire first line if all those guys pan out to the level they're expected to. They drafted a left winger in Hall, a center in Nuge, and a right winger in Neil Yakupov. They literally get an entire top line out of that draft. 2013 7th overall, Darnell Nurse. And I think it's safe to say this is a dude who is not worthy of being a 7th overall talent in a draft. 2014, Leon Draisaitl. 2015, Connor McDavid. Obviously, we know those. 2016, Jesse Payarvi. You know? And then you can look, 2018, Evan Bouchard. 2019, Philip Broberg. And 14th overall in 2020, Dylan Holloway. But you notice, in all of these draft classes, the only one the Oilers really clicked in was 2015. Because you look at 2011, they draft Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Oscar Klefbom both in the first round. The only pick that played more than 5 games in the NHL, Toby Reeder in the 4th round. Toby Reeder. And the most notable thing involving Toby Reeder was 18-19. He played 67 games with 0 goals and was apparently the lone reason the Oilers missed the playoffs that year. If you're listening to the really stupid management that they had at the time. In 2012, Jujhar Khaira in the 3rd round. Nothing special, but you know what? Hey, you'll take 337 games out of a 3rd round pick. I'm sure most teams would. And Erik Gustafsson, who never signed with the Oilers. He's played 400th career games. By the way, congratulations to Erik Gustafsson on his 400th career game. I don't know when that was. But this is a dude who played 400 career games, picked in the 4th round, and never signed with the Edmonton Oilers. He went to free agency and signed elsewhere. The only pick from 2013 that plays more than a game in the NHL, Anton Slepyshev, picked in the 3rd round, actually, sorry. He plays 102. In 2014, the only guy who plays games in the NHL outside of Draisaitl for the Oilers, William Lagesson, who only has 73. 2015, they clicked. Connor McDavid, they picked Caleb Jones in the 4th round, 226 games. Ethan Bear in the 5th round, 251. And John Marino in the 6th round with 275. However, he never played a game for the Edmonton Oilers. He was traded for a 6th round pick in 2021. So, weigh the good with the bad, if you will. In 2016, from here on out, okay, well, I mean, there's maybe a couple guys that might end up shuffling through. Vincent Desharnais, for example, was a 7th round pick. He's played 56 games. Marcus Niemelainen has played 43 career games. Tyler Benson's only played 38 from 2016. 2017, the only guy that plays more than 3 games, Stuart Skinner, picked in the 3rd round. Evan Bouchard, yes, they have Ryan McLeod. 2018, sorry, aside from Evan Bouchard, they have Ryan McLeod, who's played 160 career games. The big thing that, in my opinion, is the big differential between the Montreal Canadiens and the Edmonton Oilers is that the Oilers are able to draft in the 1st round, and while, yes, the Canadiens are able to draft in the 1st round as well, they also have the depth picks. Lane Hudson in the 2nd round, Joshua Wall in the 5th round, Sean Farrell in, I want to say, the 4th round, I think. Raphael Harpenter in the 7th round, Caden Primo in the 7th round. We are able to not only fill out our lines with the 1st round, but also take picks from every other round and make something of them. You look at 2022 with the Canadiens draft. If I can pull it up, I wonder if it's actually going to... Yes, it is. It actually is one of the first results when I go to search up the Canadiens. You look at 2022 and 2023. If we didn't have anyone from 2021, 2020, 19, or whatever, this could look like a big draft. These 2 draft classes could look massive for the Canadiens. 2022, Jaroslawski 1st overall. Philip Mazar in the 1st round as well. Owen Beck and Lane Hudson both in the 2nd round. Adam Engstrom could end up being decent in the 3rd round. I don't know if he will, but could look decent. Miguel Tarigny apparently seems like a half decent prospect for the Canadiens. But you look in 2023, David Reinbacher, 5th overall, Jacob Fowler in the 3rd round, Florian Giacchi, Bogdan Konyashkov, and Quentin Miller all in the 4th round. Yevgeny Volhulkin in the 5th round. Luke Middlestad, if he ends up anything like his brother Casey, we've got a potential gem on the blue line there, you know? So for me, those 2 drafts look great. And then going back, 2021, Logan Mailloux in the 1st round, William Trudeau in the 4th round, Joshua Wall in the 5th, Xavier Simonu in the 6th. He might only end up being a 4th liner in the NHL, but that's still getting a 4th liner in the 6th round of a draft. 2020, Sean Farrell in the 4th round, Jacob Dobech, who I still think is actually going to end up being fairly decent for the Canadiens in the future. 5th round pick, Jan Mysak, if he ends up being a 4th round pick, 4th liner. Second round pick. 2019, Rafael Harvey-Pinard is a 7th round draft pick who's in the NHL. Jaden Struble was a 2nd round pick and he just made the NHL. You know, the Canadiens can draft in the extra rounds. The Canadiens have depth picks. You know, we have those big star picks and we also have depth. That is the big thing that, like you said, Bobs, with Ryan Hopkins, 13 years in the league and 0 cups. That's even 0 cup appearances and 1 Western Conference Finals, I'm pretty sure. Just 1. The Canadiens have already been to a Stanley Cup final. Granted, yes, it's without a majority of the future core. The only guys that were really here were Suzuki and Caulfield, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Monty was even in like the organization as a third goalie. I'm pretty sure it was just Caulfield and Suzuki. You have Andy, you have Galley, you have guys who are still here, but none of the like future core that was with the team except for Suzuki and Caulfield. But you notice that with guys like Nuge and McDavid and Draisaitl, yes, they are star players, but it goes back to something that I believe it was Ken Hughes said a couple weeks ago. What good is getting a superstar if he doesn't click with the lineup and there's not a team around that superstar? Look at what the Oilers right now. They have next to no depth. They have a pretty bad blue line and one of the worst goalie tandems in the league. And they're trash. Why? Because they gave $15 million to Connor McDavid. Can't say anything about Draisaitl. That's a steal of a contract. But when he's up, if he gets paid, probably making $13 million. Dry actually seems like a guy who would take $10 million and a pay cut to stay and help the team win. But still, if you're paying $25 million for 2 players and you're not filling out the rest of the lineup with depth, there's nothing there for me to be able to say, yes, this team is a cup contender. Yes, I ranked them 2nd in the preseason standings stream. Most people did. Nobody could have seen them being this bad. All right? So for me, like, yes, McDavid and Draisaitl, they're 100% better than any of the players on the Canadiens. The Canadiens have overall depth, and we have solid players. We don't just have 2 really good players, and then Nuge is like, yeah, he's a good second-line winger. And then your next best player is probably Evan Bouchard, who plays absolutely 0 defense. We don't have just, he's a decent second-pair guy, basically, as our 4th best player. We don't have that as our 4th best player, you know? We actually have depth for the future. So for me, I definitely think that with the Canadiens rebuild compared to the Oilers rebuild, yes, it definitely might take a long time potentially to rebuild. I mean, I think the better example is looking at Tampa Bay or Colorado or the Blackhawks, you know, because the Oilers have been a failed rebuild, in my opinion. It is a failed rebuild until they win a Stanley Cup, you know, or Pittsburgh. How long was Pittsburgh trash for? You know, you look at from when even before they traded Yager, they were like barely struggling to get into the playoffs. It's like, I'm pretty sure 99 and 2000, they limped their way into the playoffs, you know. But 2001, they trade off Yager. They're completely trash, you know. 2003, they draft 1st overall. 2004, 2nd overall. 2005, 1st overall. 06, 3rd overall. And then 07, boom, they're up and running. It took them at least 6 to 7 years and 3 pretty solid picks to get into a playoff spot, you know, to get into the playoffs, you know. The Avalanche, look at how bad they were. I'm pretty sure it was make the playoffs 2014, out 2015, 2016 you're bad, 2017 you're bad, 18, I think that's when they draft Kel McCarr. It was either 18 or 19, I think it was 18. 19 you're back in the playoffs, 20, 21, and then 22 you win the Stanley Cup. So almost 7-8 years after you start your rebuild, that's when you win a Stanley Cup. The Blackhawks, look at how long they were bad for like 99, 2000, around there. That's when they got bad. And I apologize, by the way, boys, I'm going to get to your comments in a minute. I want to finish this little, not rant necessarily, but I want to finish this opinion, I should say. I've wanted to say this for a little while. You know, but you look at the Blackhawks, how long they were bad for, from like 2000, it feels like. Up until 06, they draft Jonathan Toews. You know, look at how many failed picks they had. 04, Cam Barker. You know, Lightning as well. You look at from like 2000, 2001. The Nikita, I can't think of his name. Someone could probably help me out. HRHSL 2.0. Sporty, Sons, I know you guys are in here. Please help me. I forget. But you look at the guys that they picked. You know, they went through that, still won the Cup in 04, went through another rebuild. Look at the Lightning especially as well. Like 2006, 2007, they were back out of the playoffs. 2009, they draft Stamkos. 2008, they draft Hedman. 2009, they draft Stamkos. And they're kind of floundering. 2015, they hit the Cup Finals, and they fall. They get destroyed by the Blackhawks. It takes them then another, 5-6 years to win the Stanley Cup? It takes them that long. It takes them that long to win a Stanley Cup. Basically, 12 years after Hedman and Stamkos are drafted, that's when they win the Cup. The Blackhawks, it took them 10 years after the rebuild started in 2000, 2001, around there, to finally win in 2010. They were a playoff team in 2009, yes. Western Conference final team, I think, even. But it still took them that long to make the playoffs. To me, the Oilers are a massively failed rebuild. Even if they have McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, and all these guys, they are still, it's a failed rebuild until they win a Stanley Cup. If you have to trade, if McDavid and Draisaitl and Nuge, all these guys end up going without a cup while playing with all that talent in Edmonton failed to build a good team. They failed their first rebuild. Their first legitimate, real rebuild, I should say. They failed that. The Oilers are doing what the Canadiens can't in a bad way, I should say, for the Oilers. For a good way for the Canadiens. The Canadiens are not just building off of pure superstars. We're not just building off superstars. We're building off of legitimate talent, heart, and having and having players who will fight for each other, a great captain, and just something that they have an overall lineup. They don't have a couple good players. They have a whole ass lineup that plays well. Thank you guys for the hearts. I'm seeing those coming in, by the way. I wish there was a way they could float up over the stream chat on here. That would be really funny. So yeah. Alright, yeah, so yeah, I basically just want to say, rebuilds are going to take time, like Bob said in the chat, I'll get to that definitely. Rebuilds are going to take time, but at least we're not Edmonton, We will end up being a Tampa, Chicago, Pittsburgh, one of these teams whose rebuild really succeeded. Kings, you could kind of say they were a sort of rebuild. Never felt like they were completely god-awful. They just had really good drafts. So... yeah, nobody mentioned the LA Kings, but I just thought of them, so I was I thought of who won multiple cups in the 2010s, and immediately LA came to mind, so yeah. Just watch the stream when Harry forgot to finish the stream. It was 100%, shut the hell up, Sons. I was talking to you, motherfucker. The Jonas Brothers have fans? Surprisingly, Sons, yes they do in 2023. With all due respect, I just read that. I read that earlier. Why is Jake Walman hitting the Griddy in the corner? Sporty. It's because Jake Walman scored the game-winning goal tonight, no T. What the fuck is that Griddy move? Let's go. Julian Ponte. Good to see. I believe the first time this season I'm seeing you, my guy. I believe so. Harry Rice still going? Yes, sir. Julian Plante. Thank you for coming by. Holy shit. Thank you very much, my good sir. So by tanking and getting some very high picks, they are still waiting. Oh my god, I have so many comments to get through. Holy shit. The Oil have had it easier, so to speak, due to repetitive tanks. Exactly, Bob. Exactly. The Canadiens are clearly fighting, and I think that's also part of the reason that the Oilers are going into this failed rebuild. They have failed their rebuild because they built a losing culture. They never tried to be hey, let's go out, let's grab a Sean Monahan, for example. Obviously, Sean Monahan wasn't playing in 2011. He wasn't what he was the past 3 years. But, there's not a guy like Sean Monahan who's getting paid a high cap hit. And it's hey, let's get a first-round pick to acquire this cap hit and make him a useful player again. The Oilers never did that smart move. They just had their own draft picks, basically, and were just hey, let's just die. Let's just, trade everybody that's good. It's almost like the Sabres in 2015 and the Leafs in 2016. It feels like they would trade anybody that was good, especially after Pronger wanted to leave, because, to be fair, it wasn't his wife. Who the fuck wants to be in Edmonton? Trade anybody that's good and that's playing well. Just acquire, trade out. Sporty, you can help me. Who was the one goalie that played really well for the Sabres that they ended up trading off mid-season? It wasn't Ryan Miller. I forget his name. Trade him off. Get a fifth. Who cares about value? Just get whatever. So they didn't do smart moves like the Canadiens. They didn't trade a first-round pick to get a former third overall pick who is 21. They didn't trade a late first and a second to get a guy who was Jonas Enroth. Thank you, Sporty. Yeah. Trade off Jonas Enroth. Let's get like a fifth back. Don't care about value. Not saying that's necessarily how the traded Dallas for a third and Anders Lindback. I believe Anders Lindback then ended up playing well for the Sabres and they traded him off. I'm pretty sure, but it was basically like that with the Oilers. Like, oh, this dude's playing well. Yeah, get rid of him for like a sixth. Yeah, whatever. Just trade him out. We don't need good players. We don't want good players. Unless they're via the draft or young. So, yeah. I forgot what I was just saying. I was going off on that tangent about the Oilers not making smart moves. Yeah, they never traded, a late first and a second for a young 21-year-old stuck on a stacked Colorado team's third line, former 16th overall pick. They never did that, the Oilers. They always were just complacent. All right, we have Nuge, we have McDavid, we have Draisaitl. We're a good team. We're going to be really good. And then they weren't, It took them getting Zach Kassian and fucking Anton Slepyshev being on the first line and half-decent goaltending, It took all that to make the Oilers a okay playoff team. It's funny to me. That is true, Sporty. Darnell Nurse also makes more than Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. So, yeah. Didn't they go to the Cup final? They did, exactly, Bob. They went to the Cup final in 2006 and lost to Carolina. They lost to Colorado somehow. But yeah, it was basically the end, exactly. That's when they began their sell-offs and tankathons, and exactly. 100%. I prefer to be a Habs fan than any other Canadian team. Julian, 100%, me too, my guy. I do not want to be any other Canadian hockey fan other than the Habs, unless the Habs are not in the playoffs and Leafs are, in which case I will cheer for the Leafs for my best friend, and that is the only reason why. Do not sleep. Yeah, Sporty, I'm not going to sleep on Luke Mittelstadt, believe me, my guy. I do not want to. I think that dude's going to be a pretty decent bottom pair guy. I would like that. My entire point, though, Harry, is that even with all the talent the Oilers have, they're still waiting, and the window isn't closing. Exactly, Bob. That's what I'm saying, too, is that they aren't building via the draft or via trades like the Doc and Newick trades that we've built, that we've done, or even by waivers with Montembeault, who is now seemingly a starter with the Canadiens and potentially throughout the league entirely. These are guys that, this is a team that built themselves entirely through the draft and in the worst way possible. Didn't even build themselves through the draft, through the first round. It's funny to see how few teams actually understand the draft, really. The Oilers do not understand the draft. The Canadiens, the Red Wings, the Hawks, the Pens, before they started trading every first-round pick courtesy of Jim Rutherford. These are teams that understand or understood the draft. The Canadiens, what did they trade for Guy Lafleur again? Two fourth-liners, basically? And then traded two quality players to the Kings to keep the Golden Seals in last place to draft Guy Lafleur. It's funny. And then the Red Wings took that, adapted it, and started doing the Euro scouting before anybody else did. And they got fucking gem after gem after gem after gem, and that's how they built their dynasty, You gotta either revolutionize the draft or follow smart choices, look where nobody else is looking, make a move that nobody expects you to make. That's why we picked Joris Slafkovsky and David Reinbacher. It wasn't just to say, hey, here's the sexy pick, hey, we think this guy's gonna be good. It was like, hey, this guy probably is the best player in the draft and nobody's really projecting him for first or fifth in Reinbacher's case. We really like what we see out of him. This guy's gonna be good and he's gonna fit the team well. Yeah, let's pick him. Let's pick these guys. It's not, none of these teams right now, aside from the Canadiens and the Arizona Coyotes that I've noticed, are playing it smart. None of these teams are really doing that well, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure Montem Chad was in the Habs organization in 2021. I think he joined in 21-22, actually. I'm pretty sure he was like a waiver claim in 21. Technically 21. Unfortunately, not around for the Cup Finals, I don't think, though. The Habs have basically copied how the Leafs drafted, had tons of picks in all rounds for several years. Yeah, Bob, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Except we actually know how to use our picks. We actually draft good players, funny enough. Goulet over Bouchard. Julian, couldn't agree more, my guy. Goulet actually plays defense. he plays with heart, and he actually doesn't just focus on getting himself a bunch of points and a big contract. Do I think Guhle probably gets $7 million? There's a good chance. With how he's playing, there's a good chance. Sporty, thank you. Yeah, Makar even being in 17 and not 18, like, if anything, yeah, that just keeps proving my points. What's your thoughts on the Flyers, CK Jr.? If we're talking as an organization, I'm very mixed on them. I'm very mixed on the Flyers. I think they're headed in a decent direction. I think they're okay. Honestly, really, aside from like a few prospects, like Owen Tippett, I really like Owen Tippett. Aside from a couple guys on the team, you have Rasmus Ristolainen getting like $5.5 million for third line play. Like, you got rid of Tony DeAngelo because he was what a stereotypical Philadelphia Flyer is. Honestly, like, aside from certain things, like, I could not care about the Flyers, if we're being completely honest. Like, I really don't care about the Philadelphia Flyers. That's not saying, like, oh, I don't care about you as an extent, then. No, it's just the actual team. It's like, I don't care enough to follow the Flyers. Like, for me, like, I'll follow a couple other teams with the Canadiens, but it's like, I really don't care much about the Flyers, unfortunately. The Boston-Toronto game was peak cinema. Yes, Sons, I heard. They tied it. The Leafs came back twice. I think they tied it with 4.8 seconds left, and it's like, I heard all that shit, yeah. Oh, Stamkos is a Wade Hedman and Rank. Okay, thank you, Sporty. I got those 2 years mixed up. Well, Randy, regardless on if Tampa played like shit tonight and they got stomped, they still have two Stanley Cups. They have 3 Cup finals in a row. If the Canadiens can even get 1 Stanley Cup as a result of the players that we've drafted, or just in general, the players that we have, that's a win. That is already a bigger win with our rebuild than the Oilers tanking for McDavid. I know it might sound weird, like, oh, well, how can the Canadiens succeed in a rebuild more than the Oilers when they got McDavid? Stanley Cups speak very heavily. Yeah, they're very, very solid. So yeah, they've won some Stanley Cups, and I think the Canadiens are definitely going to get there too. It astounds me how so many fans think that without acquiring multiple superstars this offseason, the Habs would be somehow propelled to the top 5. Oh, they think if we acquire without, won't be somehow propelled to the top 5. Exactly, Bob's. Rebuilds take time. Exactly. And here's the thing, like, I don't even think with us it's a 5 to 7 year rebuild. I think with Marc Bergevin's final years as the Canadiens GM, his last 3 years really, really clicked. Like, you look at his last draft, 2021, he got us Logan Mailloux, Joshua Waugh, potentially William Trudeau, Xavier Simoneau again if they pan out. 2020, Caden Gooley, Jan Mysak, Luke Tuck, I feel like worthy mention, 2nd round pick. Riley Kidney and Oliver Kapanen, 2021. Sean Farrell, Jacob Dobesh. 2019, Cole Caulfield, Jaden Struble, Raphael Harvey-Pinard. He got us these guys. Even if you want to look at 2018 with getting Jesse Ullinen, Romanov, who we then traded for Kirby Dach, Jordan Harris, who might end up being eventually traded out. Even 2017 with Caden Primo, he looks pretty decent. I might not like the guy, but in 2016, Michael Pezzetta has played 131 games as a 6th round draft pick. You know, Bergevin got us some solid players, and even if they didn't end up playing well for the Canadiens, we still traded them. Your Jesperi Kotkaniemi got us a 1st round pick. Yes, we might have taken that and used it on Christian Dvorak. Who's to say a team won't pay a decent sum for Christian Dvorak at the deadline? Who's to say that doesn't happen? Again, Alexander Romanov, we traded for Kirby Dach. We got really solid players as a result of Marc Bergevin picks. Again, even with just players that we drafted that are in the lineup or going to be in the lineup. Cole Caulfield, Caden Gooley, Logan Mailloux, Joshua Waugh, Sean Farrell, Caden Primo. These are all guys that players that the fan base loves or will grow to love, I think, especially with Logan Mailloux. I think there are guys from the Bergevin era picked that people aren't realizing were from the Bergevin era. You know, they're thinking we lucked into Cole Caulfield, but we really didn't. We really didn't luck ourselves into Cole Caulfield. It was kind of known he would probably fall because of his size, or lack thereof, I should say. The Canadiens didn't necessarily luck themselves into Cole Caulfield. We jumped on a smart opportunity, and that's what we did. We jumped on a smart opportunity with trading Alexander Romanov for Kirby Dach, basically. Kirby Dach for Alexander Romanov for a first, and then that first round pick for Kirby Dach. We jumped on an opportunity to get Alex Newhook, to get Sam Montembeault off waivers. Both Marc Bergevin and then what Hugo have done are similar in manner of they both knew how to find talent. Jaden Struble, even from the Bergevin era, he just made the NHL. Fans love him. 5 games in, people are already saying, yeah, this dude's going to cause some issues on the blue line when guys are coming back in a good way. Because he's looking like an NHL defenseman. You know? Marc Bergevin got so much flack for drafting players in his last 4 years instead of, oh, well, why wouldn't we move back, you know? Why wouldn't we move back and get more draft picks? More draft capital is good. It's like, no. Sometimes you have to use picks to get players. That's what the draft is for. You know, for me, it's funny. It's genuinely hilarious that people will still shit on Marc Bergevin relentlessly because he traded Jonathan Drouin, Mikhail Sergachev for Jonathan Drouin. And okay, Drouin might not have panned out to the level we expected him to. We expected a 40-goal scorer and a 90-point player out of Jonathan Drouin. We're putting expectations on Drouin for a player that he wasn't even meant to be. He was meant to be a playmaker, you know? We shit on him for 2 or 3 trades without acknowledging he turned Max Pacioretty into Nick Suzuki, you know? He basically turned Max Pacioretty into actually Nick Suzuki and Kirby Dach because, technically Hugo did that, but Bergevin and Hugo, they really worked together on that one. Because we traded Tatar for Suzuki, we traded Pacioretty for Suzuki, Tatar, and a second. We flipped that second for for 2 thirds, I think. One of them became Romanov. We then take that pick and flip it for Kirby Dach, you know? Just to simplify it, we take Romanov, flip it for a first, and flip that first for Kirby Dach. We got our 2 top-line centers out of trading our old captain. You know? That is both a Marc Bergevin win and a Hugo win. And again, I'm shorting Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon. So I know Sporty was confused about that. Just for anyone else that might be confused, it's Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon. I'm combining them into Hugo. So yeah, but for me, that's the way you have to look at things. Is that the old GM did great things, and it helps the new GMs. Do I think that our rebuild is going to take 5-7 years? No. Again, it's because of a lot of things that Marc Bergevin did. Again, Caulfield, Suzuki, as a result, Doc, technically. There's moves here that he made that I think accelerates the rebuild by 2 to 3 years. I think having your first line center and your captain, getting your 50 goal scorer as a result, getting a second line center as a result of all one move, essentially, getting some top 4D, getting some solid depth, is Bergevin. He helped this team a lot. If Joshua Waugh and Sean Farrell are stuck, quote unquote, playing third line minutes with the team when they could, I think Joshua Waugh could honestly be a second liner on a lot of NHL teams in 3-4 years. That's good. That shows how much depth the Montreal Canadiens have. So I definitely don't think a rebuild is going to take 5-7 years. I think at this point, maybe it's 1 more year, and then I honestly think there's a decent chance that the Canadiens end up being in the playoffs. I honestly think either next year. I think next year. I know I said that this year, but to be fair, we actually have been fairly competitive this year. So I'm not entirely wrong on what I said that we would be competitive. I think next year we're either right in or we're right out. I think it's either we're barely in or we're barely out in the playoffs. So for me, I definitely think that our rebuild is very accelerated because of moves that Bergevin did, in a good way, I should say. And of course, Hugo have just been like, hey, yeah, no, we'll trade a first-round pick for a first-round pick, essentially. We'll trade a 15th overall for a 3rd overall talent. Yeah, we'll do that. And it's like, that's funny. Sporty, exactly. Yes, 100%. Toronto's really heading towards a failed rebuild. Definitely Sporty. All their talent that they've had, Matthews, Marner, Nylander, all these guys that they've drafted, Liljegren, Sandin, even though I know they traded him last deadline, weirdly. All these guys that they've had, and 0 Stanley Cups, 0 conference final appearances even, 1 second-round appearance. Massive bust. Edmonton has a high payroll in the forwards, plus Nurse and the rest of the lineup, but nobody's exactly Randy. Evan Bouchard, okay, he's a good offensive defenseman, doesn't play D whatsoever, you know, and they have nobody else in the lineup who can really play D aside from Matthias Ekholm, in my opinion. Oscar Klefbom, I will say, yes, it was unfortunate his injury ended his career, but still, at some point it has to be less of a, hey, well, you know, Oscar Klefbom was hurt, and more so a, well, how can you replace that player, you know? It's like if Caden Gooley, for example, say 3 years from now, if Caden Gooley gets hurt, who do you have to replace him in the lineup? Well, you have Arbor Jacka. You might have Jaden Struble, who can play second line minutes, you know? That's good. It's not just a, oh, Caden Gooley's out. Yeah, we're fucked. We have nobody who can come in. We have guys who can replace him, and that is always best. You need depth, not only on the forwards, on the blue line, on the goaltending, guys that are in the lineup who are actually playing. You need those extra guys who can come in, and you don't need to be like, oh god, how's he going to play? It's more so just at the very least, oh yeah, he should be solid. He's a rebuild. He should be a decent guy to come in for a couple games, you know? You don't need 7 top pairing defensemen to play in your organization. You don't need that. Nobody will ever have that in the NHL again. But yeah, it's like Bob said, it's hilarious how so many Habs fans want to go after William Nylander when he's a free agent this year, when he's a free agent, not if, when he's a free agent this coming year. You know, they want us to acquire a star goaltender. I'm personally, for one, thinking John Gibson, because I actually think you can get him for a very low price, and I think it actually could work for the Canadiens, especially if you get him in the offseason, for example. You know, but William Nylander, they want to get a star goaltender. They want to trade, at the same time, they don't want to trade Mike Matheson for a first-round pick. They want to trade Sean Monahan, who's playing fairly solid. They want to trade off any guy over 23 who's playing well. And it's like, that's not how you get a Stanley Cup. Keeping a Sean Monahan or trading him off and then re-signing him in the offseason, which would probably be the smarter move if you can get Sean Monahan to agree with that. Hopefully. That's a smart move to make. But, you know, going with a lineup with an average age of 22 is not how you win a Stanley Cup. You need a Sean Monahan. You need a Mike Matheson in the lineup, you know? A veteran presence in the bottom 6 can always help, you know? You always need those veteran players who can play well and help the team win a Stanley Cup. You cannot just exclusively win with young players, and you also can't exclusively win with all old players, you know? Despite what Tampa wants to think, their bottom 6 when they won the Cups were pretty balanced. Were pretty evenly young and old, you know? Edmonton rebuild has failed. Yes. Oh my god, I got so many comments to read. Oh my god. Oilers would need a Perry. Exactly, Julian. I think the Oilers, if they would need a Corey Perry, so he can sleep with McDavid's mom. God damn it, Sons. That was a 15-minute plus ramble. That was incredible. Totally made for radio and podcast. Thank you, Sporty. I appreciate that, dude. We do need a pod immediately, dude. Here's the thing, guys. I do this for the Canadian game recaps. Yeah, there was actually a Canadians game tonight. I know, surprising. We'll get to that eventually. But like, genuinely, I think if I could come up here eventually and just do a podcast, like, because I know YouTube has that new, like, podcasting. I don't know if they still have it, but they had the thing where you can upload podcasts on YouTube. If I could do that, that'd be awesome. Like, have people suggest, like, oh, Harry, what do you think about Canadians rebuild or whatever? And I could just ramble for, like, however long I just rambled. Sporty said that probably like 15 minutes, like half an hour, about the Montreal Canadiens rebuild and what I think we're doing right, what I think we're doing wrong, if there's anything, you know? We definitely need a podcast for sure. Julien Gauthier got the game-winning goal for the Islanders. Suns, that is elite. Play him first line over Simon Holmstrom immediately. I feel like Arizona's rebuild will 100% be a success by like 24-25. Yes, absolutely. Suns, I love that take. I honestly think, like, I know they're the second wild card right now, I'm pretty sure. In the Western Conference, their second wild card, I'm pretty sure. I definitely think by next year, they're going to be a playoff team 100%. Absolutely 100%. They are going to be in the playoffs next year. They probably will win a cup by the end of the decade. I love what the Yotes are doing, Suns. Like, even me as someone who said, oh, Logan Cooley's not going to pan out, I take that back. I took that back when he had that beautiful goal in preseason. I wasn't like some idiot fans of the Canadiens who were like, oh, well, why did we pick this guy over Yorsovkovsky? No, I was just, damn, he's going to be a good player. I was actually wrong about him. I think he's going to be a damn good player. You know? They are building something in the desert. I think Arizona is going to be a very, very solid playoff team eventually. Was Craig McTavish to blame for most of the drafting fails, or Peter Chiarelli? I think when he came in Peter Chiarelli definitely was part to blame. I do think a lot of what the drafting scouts for the Oilers ended up doing, and Craig McTavish as well, I think that is absolutely what's to blame. 100%. I definitely think that it's a lot of the drafting scouts. Anyone know where Trevor Timmins is? The Ho was one of the guys who supposedly got Cole Caulfield. Anyone know where Trevor Timmins is? The Ho was one of the guys who supposedly got. Randy, why are you calling Trevor Timmins a hoe? What the fuck? Why are you calling Timmins a hoe? Bobs, I went to look up Mitch Kopp stats on HockeyDB. Says yeah, stats unavailable. Yeah. Bobs, yeah, you got to look that up on Elite Prospects. For some reason, HockeyDB isn't updating KHL stats right now. It's kind of sad because Danny Rebuild will go down in history and then win the cup this year. CK, that's a very funny joke, thinking that the Flyers are winning the cup this year. That's a very funny joke. Every time Laviolette or Tortorella gets hired, first thought is when they get fired. I mean, Tortorella I like, but yeah, especially with Laviolette. Tortorella as well, it kind of is that thing, but I do like Tortorella. Randy, who cares if Tampa's cups are in the past? The thing is, they won cups. They've won cups. And I don't care if when Montreal wins a cup again, that, 3 years down the line after that, it's like, oh, well, that's in the past. Because we've won the cup then. I don't care if we only win one or we end up winning 4 over 10 years. I just want a Stanley Cup. And I think with the way the rebuild is going right now, the Canadiens absolutely are what the Canadiens need. I think the rebuild, the way they're handling it, is a very Tampa-esque rebuild, I think. So for me, it's like, I don't care if Tampa's cups are in the past. The truth of the matter is they've won cups. They have won the Stanley Cups, and the Canadiens want more Stanley Cups. They want number 25 at the very least. So, yeah. Well said, Harry. Thank you, Julian. Last 3 years of GM Bergevin really clicked. Exactly. I like how you can be fair to Bergie. Exactly, Julian. Like, I will admit, when he first came in 2012, it was like, okay, it was a little bit iffy. But then again, look at what Gainey, I think, was the previous GM. Look at what Bob Gainey left him. There was not a lot to work with aside from Pacioretty, David Desharnais as a first-line center, PK Subban, and Carey Price. There was not a lot for Bergevin to work with. So the fact he left us with Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Caden Gooley, Logan Mailloux, Arbor Xhekaj as well. People forget Arbor Xhekaj was Bergevin's last signing, I'm 99% sure. Arbor Xhekaj was a Bergevin dude, technically. So, like, you look at the last 3 years of Bergevin compared to, like, his first 5. I know he spent a decade because he was hired in 20... No, I think he spent 9 years. He was hired in 2012, and I think fired in 2011, I think, technically. But you look at those 9 years, you look at the 5 years, it was like, okay. But then you look at the last 3 years, it's like, yeah, he clicked. It was just something went off, and he went from, like, okay, I mean, doesn't do too many moves, kind of plays it safe, to what are you doing? And then, oh my god, this actually worked. Look at Domi for Anderson. Domi scored 70 points. Anderson had a goal in 23 games, and you look at that deal and how well it clicked for Montreal, and then how Domi is kind of shuffled around the league right now. Now, of course, you can say, oh, well, hey, I mean, Anderson has 0 goals so far. Domi had 0 goals until tonight. He scored his first of the year tonight, And is he even on the Blue Jackets? No, he's not on the Blue Jackets where they traded him to. Josh Anderson, last deadline, could have gotten us a first-round pick. And I'm not going to shit on Hugo for not doing that. Because I completely get, you wanted full value, you wanted a first and a prospect. I get that. Do I think we can get a first for him this year? Yeah, probably not. Unless he scores 15 goals in the next 20 games, then yeah, probably not. But, I mean, don't weigh out how stupid a GM can be. We all thought Ben Sherratt would get a 3rd-round pick, and he ended up getting the Canadiens a first-rounder. So, don't rule out that Anderson can still get the... Don't rule out that Josh Anderson might get the Canadiens a first-round pick, because there's that very slight chance that he still does. But yeah, Julian, like you said, I absolutely, I want to be fair to Bergevin. I don't want to just be, oh, well, yeah, he was a great GM all the time, or, oh, he was a terrible GM. No. Yeah, there were some bad moves in there. There's bad moves with every GM tenure. With Hugo right now, I mean, yeah, you can't really see any of those if there were any, because they're like a year and a half into their tenure. If they spend 9 years here, yeah, there's probably going to be bad moves. There's probably going to be bad free agent signings, bad trades, bad drafts. There's probably going to be those. But with Bergevin, yeah, a lot of the quote-unquote bad, more so just mediocre, came at the beginning. Again, yeah, sure, Duran for Sergachev, blah, blah, blah. We've gone over that a lot. But you look at the last 3 years, he was a great GM. Like you said, like, those last 3 years really clicked. Like, there's just something, again, where Bergevin went from, like, oh, yeah, I don't want to. I'm just going to kind of play it safe, just do whatever. And he just turned into, yeah, fuck this, I'm snapping. I'm doing any move that I can to improve this team, both for now and the future. We got to a cup final as a result of him, and we also might actually get a Stanley Cup. And if we do, we need to send a flower basket and a Stanley Cup ring to Marc Bergevin. If we win a cup with Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Arbor Xhekaj, Joshua Waugh, Sean Farrell, any of these guys, Jaden Struble, any of these guys that he drafted in the lineup, we need to send Marc Bergevin a thank you basket and a Stanley Cup ring. Because it is half of Hugo and then half of Bergevin, 100%. Exactly, Bobs. Bergevin acquired Suzuki in that Patches trade, along with technically, again, Kirby Dach, because I just went over it earlier. But yeah. Danny Briere's moves have already shown gold twice, almost beating the Knights once, beating them and once losing in the last 30 seconds of game, beating every team that has beat them this year in their opponent barn. CK, I'm going to have to translate that to English before I can respond to you. Like Toronto said tonight, this team's got balls, and balls wins cups, not skill. Okay, let me know when the 1975-76 Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup then. Joshua Waugh, yes indeed, Julian. Joshua Waugh, yes sir. Solid takes by heard tonight. Thank you, Julian. I appreciate that. Thank you. Habs should have won tonight. Leafs should have won. You come back, you should win. Both teams not enough heart to finish the deal. Well, CK, when the Red Wings have the only control for overtime, can you really say that's not enough heart? We're going to get to that, by the way. Oh my god, the Coyotes are choking. Never mind, no goal. Okay, there we go. Agree with great drafts by Bergevin. Holy shit, we're almost completely caught up. Holy shit. But the free agent signings were awful. Hoffman, Dvorak, Gallagher, Armia. Technically, Armia was actually a trade. He wasn't a signing. He was a trade. Well, technically, he was a signing. He wasn't a free agent signing. He was a re-signing. You know what I mean. Dvorak, I wouldn't even say was awful to trade for, because he's been a useful third-line guy. You can't even say that Dvorak was a awful trade piece. Hoffman, I mean, yeah, probably not great, but I mean, you get Gustav Lindstrom, and I believe we got a second out of that deal. Honestly, I can't even complain about the Hoffman thing because of what we got. If Gustav Lindstrom ends up being a decent bottom pair guy, I'm fine with that. Is a rebuild over when the team makes the playoffs? Is that the standard? I forget who it was, if it was the hockey guy or someone else said, but they said that they believe a rebuild is over when the team makes the playoffs 2 years in a row. I kind of agree with that. I do think when you make the playoffs once, that shows a sign that it's over. I do think to a certain extent, if you can make them twice in a row, that's when the rebuild is over. But I do think if you make the playoffs once, then that for me, that is like at least a sign, if not a clear-cut answer that, yeah, the rebuild's over. I think getting close is a real sign. Like, if you're 3 points out, like the Sabres were last year, I think that's a legitimate sign that, yes, the rebuild is close to being over. And then I think you make the playoffs from there. That's the playoff being over, in my opinion. The Habs point totals was similar to last year at 1/4 point of the season. Randy, if that is the case, even then, like, keep in mind, how injury riddled were we at this point last year, and how bad were the Canadiens? How bad did the injuries get for the Canadiens, and how bad did the Canadiens? How bad will the Canadiens be injured this year? For me, I think it's more so like you can't really strictly compare these teams, even though they are very similar. Not a lot of changes to the overall fabric of the roster. Again, I think you have to look at injuries. Like, I know I don't want to blame a season going poorly or going better because of injuries or lack thereof. But you absolutely, if you want to compare the team from last year to this year, comparing the team itself, you absolutely have to look at the rebuilds from, again, last year to this year, the injuries. To me, that's absolutely, again, how injured were they last year compared to this year? Had we lost Dach at this point last year, had we lost two of our second-line forwards, had we lost Sean Monahan at this point, who did we lose at this point in the season last year compared to this year? Because if we had lost You know, two of our top line guys, two of our top six forwards. If we've lost two of our top 4D, one of our top 4D in David Savard and one of our bottom pair D in Arbor Jacki at this point of the year, then yeah, okay, we're probably taking a step back. But if we haven't lost the amount of talent that we've lost last year compared to this year, then I think this season you could actually arguably say it's better than last year. I think everyone calls a team failing in their. Everyone calls a team failing. They're in a rebuild. Everyone calls a team failing. Everyone says that a team failing, that they're in a rebuild. Admit it, there's no rebuild. It's about moves, failed players, and bad coaching. Fuck the rebuild excuse. Okay, CK, how do you explain where the Flyers have been the last, 20 years then? Because that's probably the only team that I would actually probably call fucking horrid over the last 20 years is the Philadelphia Flyers. But no, I mean, here's the thing. You have to say there's a rebuild at some point with certain teams. With the Canadiens right now, I don't think it started as a rebuild. With Dominic Ducharme behind the bench in 2021, we had a lot of injuries, and it eventually just got to the point where we realized that Dominic Ducharme was a fucking horrible leader and a terrible head coach. And at that point when we fired him and we got rid of Marc Bergevin as well, we hired hired Marty St. Louis, we hired Hugo to be the head coach, and the president of hockey operations is, I believe, what Jeff Gordon is technically. So for me, it didn't start as a rebuild, but it absolutely became a rebuild when they were hired. We focused more on getting prospects, trading out some of the older guys, and yeah. So for me, I definitely think that there is the rebuild quote unquote excuse that I think a lot of teams can make. I will come visit you on January 10th after the Habs beat down in Philly. After the Habs beat the Flyers in Philly, then hell yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can come visit me, my guy. We should do the review together. Actually, please don't do that. Actually, I just realized the Boogie situation, what happened there. Don't visit me, actually. Please don't. Please, actually, do not come to my house. Please don't do that. We lost tonight, but great comeback. It was actually, it actually was 3-0, yeah. For some reason, I thought we scored them as 2-1, then they made it 3-0. No, it was 3-0. It was 3-0 and 4-2. We did get to that. I think we got to the first period. Did we? Yes, we did get to the first period, I believe. I think we got through it. Yeah, I mentioned the Jones Brothers thing. All right, let me actually get through the shots and then I'll resume. But yeah, shots are 11-7 for the Red Wings, and they have a 3-1 lead after 20 minutes. I put 3-0, but it's a 3-1 lead. All right. I just want to get through that. I highlighted my notes where I am, so I won't get lost now. There is something building in the desert now. Too bad it's not a new rink. Ghislain, how's it going, my guy? Ghislain, thank you for coming by, my good sir. I like the non-context, just Julian saying lol ho without the context of that coming from when Randy said the ho thing. I love that just no context, he just says lol ho in the chat. The Yotes are building everything perfect in the desert except the arena. They need to stay in said desert. I mean, that's true, Sporty. They're going to be winning those cups in Houston. There's a chance. Hopefully Quebec, if anything, but Arbor Jackoff, thank you, sons. I'd grade Marc Bergevin's performance as the Habs GM a B-, but in the world of GMs, I think that's pretty good. Exactly, Bob, yes. I think the B-, I think if you just grade the last 3 years, I think you could make an argument for A- potentially, but definitely if you're factoring the first 5 years where it was what were his most notable deals? The Bergevin deal, Subban for Weber, admittedly Subban for Weber was quite solid. And then the Thomas Vanek trade in 2013 probably were the most notable deals that he made, at least off the top of my head. It was Vanek, Subban for Weber, and Galchenyuk for Domi, which then turned into Domi for Anderson. I think those were both technically the last 3 years, but yeah, Jordan for Sergachev, Subban for Weber, and the Vanek trade, where we traded away, what's his name? Sebastian Kohlberg? Was it Sebastian Kohlberg? I think it was Sebastian Kohlberg. That we traded in that deal. Don't ask how I know that. How do I know that? Because NHL 14 Sebastian Kohlberg is always a 4.5-star gem and never pans out. I've played a lot of NHL 14, as you can tell. Buffalo sucks again. That is true, sons, unfortunately. Double comparison, we were ass this year. Well, Sporty, that's just Buffalo being Buffalo. If they were actually a team, then yeah, you probably would actually be in a playoff spot right now. For me, the big difference between Bergevin and Hughes is Bergevin is rarely doesn't sign players in increments of $500,000. Hughes will negotiate every dollar. It does seem to be that way, Ghislain. It's funny that with the Montembeault signing, we signed him specifically for $3.3 million. So it was $3,315,000. I wonder if it came down to the very dollar. It was like Montembeault thinks he's worth $50,000, and Ken Hughes said $15,000, or he might have said say 2.95, and they kind of met sort of in the middle. I do wonder if that was a thing, or if it was just like a hey. You want 3.4, how about 3.315? Specifically that amount. And Monty was like, I mean, fuck, I got 3.3 million, I'll take it. Don't know why you give me that much, but yeah. To be fair, Rem Pitlick got $1.1 million. The contract could be buried in the AHL, so I think Hugo saw something there. Bro, if we had the old playoff, if we had the old playoff format, the 1v8 would be Islanders and Rags. We need that back. Yes, we do, Sons. Dude, getting an Islanders in 4... I mean, to be fair, yeah, it would be Islanders in 4. So I don't know if we really do need 1v8 back, because it'd be a really boring sweep. But, not saying, like, boring because, 2-1, 1-0, but just because the Rangers are out in 4, they put up no fight. Like, I mean, it wouldn't really be that exciting, but it would be fun for sure. I would say that. Remember how yes, brought in Corey Perry. He was very clutch in the playoffs in the cup run. Exactly, Bob. Yes. Corey Perry, Ilya Kovalchuk brought him in for a couple games. I think it was 18 games and traded him for a third-round pick. And then I'm pretty sure I remember. It was like Corey Perry for a third, and then we took that third and flipped it for Jake Allen. So I actually don't know. If that would be... I actually don't know if that actually... Maybe Bergevin is to blame for more shit than I realized. No, I'm joking, obviously. If Jake Allen gets us anything more than the third, you can officially consider that deal a fucking W, by the way. Even though I do love Ilya Kovalchuk, I do think trading him away was probably the right deal at the time, because I just assumed that we wouldn't be making the playoffs, and then COVID happened, blah, blah, blah. Even KK eliminated the... no, they did not, Bob. Oh, God, Suns clip something. KK scored the game winner in Game 6 to force Game 7. It wasn't Gallagher. Was it Perry who scored the game winner? Or was it Suzuki? I just got to look it up. Habs... Leafs Game 7 2021. It even knows what I want to look up. Because I know Corey Perry scored the empty netter. Or Tyler Toffoli scored the empty netter. It was Corey Perry. Corey Perry scored the game winner in that series. Kotkaniemi, yeah. So Corey Perry, dude, he was very clutch. Literally won us the series technically. Scored, I think, 6 goals in those playoffs. Let me actually look up Corey Perry. Oh, I even have a talking DB right here. Yeah, dude scored only 4 goals, but he was very clutch. 4 goals, 10 points in the 22 playoff games. Also, very funny to note, throughout the 3 cup runs that he had, cup finals runs, it's very funny. 2020, he had 9 points. 21 with the Canadiens, 20 with the Stars. 21 with the Canadiens, he had 10 points in the playoffs. And in 22 with the Lightning, he had 11 points. So he felt like getting better. He felt like very much getting better. So, very funny. That's how it went. I just noticed that as I was looking at his playoff stats now. By the way, my condolences go out to Corey Perry. He didn't lose a family member, but just I don't know what other word to use there. I hope he gets better from the stuff that went down with him and the Blackhawks organization. I hope he's able to recover from whatever he's going through. I don't think it's been fully revealed what's going on, but whatever it is, I hope that Corey Perry is able to get through, recover, and he's able to come back as a NHLer again in the future. I really hope that's what's able to happen with Corey Perry. So, yeah. All right, I think we should continue on with the game. We're an hour and 43 minutes in. I would preferably like to get this done before 3 a.m. So, oh boy, 3 a.m. So yeah, Hall and Gostisbehere turn the puck over. That leads to some Habs chances. Shots are wide though. Then the Habs go to the PK 3 minutes in. Allen is called for a trip on Raymond. I completely get why. That's called as a trip. I think if Allen stays in his crease, that probably isn't a penalty, but I completely get why it is. And the Canadiens score on the PK. Joel Armia off a turnover has a 2-on-1. He takes the shot, and it's his 3rd goal of the year. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Eats a fucking burger hitting the bed. Exactly, Suds. Exactly. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate that. Thank you, Suds. I appreciate it. Son's name isn't actually Patrick, and you know what I mean. So It's a 2-on-1, and Armia gets his 3rd goal of the year. Solid shot there, unassisted, to make it 3-2. Then the Wings make it 4-2. Alex DeBrincat gets his 200th career goal on a bit of a weird cross crease. Allen can't hold his post. That is going to be game over. Habs are 0-for-1 on the PK tonight. Technically, if you will, 1-for-1, because we scored a goal shorthanded, then allowed a power play goal, so kind of evens out, but really think about it. I mean, not really, but like, we're 0-for-1 on the PK. Habs then go to the power play. Fischer interferes with Cole Caulfield. I apparently didn't write what we were on the power play at this point, so oof. But yeah, so the Canadiens are on the power play. Fischer interferes with Cole Caulfield. The Wings were actually looking to get a break the other way, so the Wings probably weren't happy that they got called. It was an arguably, you could say, late whistle blow. Habs aren't able to find anything. Wings get some easy clears. Habs are 0-for-2 on the power play tonight. Wings then get called on an icing. However, on a line change, Klim Kostin has near break. He gets a shot. Him and Kovacevic then run into Allen. We go to a commercial. We come back, and the league is reviewing for a goal. So they are looking just in case the puck might have entered the net before the net comes off the moorings. Breaking news, Burger in the Bed is the new album by Drake, according to TMZ. You know what, Bobs? With how downhill Drake has gone, with how downhill Drake has been in the last, 6 years, ever since his peak with the Meek Mill beef, he kind of had, that doesn't seem like something out of the realm of possibility for him, honestly. Whistle blow, and woo, can you blow my whistle, baby, baby, baby. Here we go. Exactly, so thank you. Montembeau wants $4 million per year. Hughes says, look, I will give you $4 million, but just the first year, but I need to be less than $3.5 million on the cap hit, $1 million right away. Just it wouldn't surprise me if it was a shady transaction. It's like, hey, yo, here's the extra $1 million. Gives him just a giant stack, just $1 million right away instead of just incremented. Just straight up $1 million in fucking cash. That'd be really funny, but yeah, no. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what happened, but that would be very funny if that was. Oh god. Oh. I saw Drake at the Raptors game the other night. He was melting down about some bad play by the Raptors. Smooth. I mean, Bobs, to be fair, when Drake's at a Raptors game, he really is not Drake. He's just a fan of the Raptors at that point. He does not go in as Drake. He goes in as Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza is not his real name. Aubrey, whatever his last name is, he goes in as Aubrey, not Drake, when he's at a Raptors game. So, I get his melting down, honestly. Drake's Scary Hours mixtape was pretty solid. Was it actually, Sons? I gotta check that out. For All the Dogs was ass. Was that his newest album? For All the Dogs? Is that the one that just released 2 weeks ago? Hey, just have a good night too, my guy. Thank you very much for coming by, my good sir. Hope to see you in the future. Thank you for coming by. Spike Lee was laughing at Drake for dissing his own team. You know what? That completely makes sense. I mean, to be fair, Spike Lee's a fucking Knicks fan, and also only one of those guys directed a really shitty remake of a fucking classic Korean film, and it wasn't Drake. So fuck Spike Lee. But yeah. And also then refused to pay someone who made posters for the movie per commission. And then, yeah, again, just refused to pay them completely. So, fuck Spike Lee again. But yeah, so the league is reviewing and there's just no goal. The net was off beforehand. And even if the puck was in, they probably would have called it off because Kostin is the one who pushes Kovacevic into Allen. So, yeah. My new signal, I don't get the Griddy is out on Tuesday. Hey, well, Bob, I will buy every copy of it. I'll make sure that shit goes number 1, baby. Let's go. I'll make sure it goes number 1. Hell yeah. I don't get the Griddy. Let's go. I love that it's just been playing. I haven't been all right, that's enough of the Griddy. No, I'm keeping that shit up there. We need to get a Josh Hutchinson Drake song. Thanks, Harry. Love you. Hey, no problem, Bob. Love you too, my guy. Let's go. Love you too. Josh Hutcherson. Do you mean the guy who plays the dude in Five Nights at Freddy's? Because I think that's Josh Hutcherson. Is it Josh Hutcherson? I think it might be Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson. Okay, yeah, it's Josh Hutcherson. Who's Josh Hutchington? Josh Hutchinson. Am I stupid? Josh Hutchinson. Buying every copy, huh? Sounds like Taylor Swift's dad. Dude, Sons, the fact that you actually got that. They're the same dude, Harry? Josh Hutchinson? No, it's Josh Hutcherson. You fucking communist. Bro, Sons, I love that you actually got that. Sounds like Taylor Swift's dad, bro. I wholeheartedly believe that, by the way. That if you guys don't know the rumor, basically the rumor is that Taylor Swift's dad, I don't know if it was ever confirmed or if it is just a rumor, but apparently like Taylor Swift's dad would go to different places that was selling his daughter's albums and buy like every single copy in order to bump up the sales of the album when it first came out. And I completely agree with that 100%. There's no way people would listen to Taylor Swift and think, yeah, this is country music when it first came out and actually like it. Yeah. Her dad bought all the copies to make her famous, but Kanye really made her famous. Dude, genuinely, he really did. Cause like, I first heard about Taylor Swift early because she was a country artist. I heard about her because country artist. I heard about her because I would watch CMT, country music television, sometimes when I was a kid, and they'd play her music videos occasionally. So I knew who she was. I knew who like Kelsey what's her name? Kelsey Bellaringer or something like that. I knew who she was, Big and Rich. I knew I know what CMT is. Well, Sons, just in case you don't, in case there's anybody else watching who doesn't know what CMT is, I have to say that as well. But I'd watch CMT and know all these mid 2000s, late 2000s country singers. And Taylor Swift, that's how I know her. But it genuinely, like, Kanye is really what made Taylor Swift famous. Like, she doesn't want to admit it, and Swifties don't want to admit it. Kanye West, at the 2009 VMAs, is 1,000% to thank for Taylor Swift, being famous right now. Is 100% that. Because I guarantee that doesn't happen. She just goes up, grabs her trophy, oh, thank you very much, oh, thank you, and just goes off. 100%, she's irrelevant by like 2015. Because of what happens in 2009, everybody starts to follow her. It's just like, I don't know. For me, I think Taylor owes Kanye a massive, massive thank you. Plus, especially the shit that happened over the famous music video. How apparently Taylor didn't know what was going down, and Kim had to leak that video of her getting approval, of them getting approval, and it's like, come the fuck on, Taylor. Like, I don't know. She does not seem like a person that I would trust if I were in the music business. If we're being completely honest, Taylor Swift does not seem like a person I would trust if I ever made in the music business. What, you aren't a Swiftie? Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Bob's, yeah, no, surprisingly. I mean, technically back in like 2007, 2008, I sort of was, because I would find her music catchy when it'd come on CMT. So technically I was, but not like, I'm not obsessed with her. Or I wasn't obsessed with her, I guess I should say. And nowadays, the only time I listen to Taylor Swift music is when they make the top 10 worst songs of the year from A Dose of Buckley. That's the only time I end up listening to Taylor Swift at this point, really. CMT, can Montreal tank? Exactly, Bob. Exactly. I mean, technically they have the past couple of years, so screw Kanye, he's a douchebag anyway. Randy, I don't agree. I like Kanye. I think he's got some damn good music out there. Plus, he doesn't hate Jews anymore, courtesy of Jonah Hill. Watching Jonah Hill at 21 Jump Street, apparently. Kanye is the poster child for douchebags. Bob's, I'm to an extent, I think. To an extent. I made that bitch famous. Yes, exactly. So thank you for the quote. I had a chance to sing it because you posted it. I like that. Oh god, where am I? Wings don't look depressed for the 5-2 lead after the technically no goal call, I guess you could say. Habs didn't go to the power play though. Struble gets an elbow up high from Robbie Fabry. He tried to go after Fabry. Fabry wanted none of him, but still does draw the call. Canadians really can't do anything, and the Canadians Habs get a 5-on-3 for just about a minute. Ben Sherratt trips up Cole Caulfield very clearly against the boards. not necessarily Melissa's thing, but just going for the puck. Caulfield ends up getting his feet in there. It's a clear trip. And, Habs tried to find something. Caulfield gets a couple looks that are either blocked or stopped. Habs are 0 for 4 together on the power play. Like Swift or not, you can't do what he did at the Grammys. 0 class, sour grapes, sore loser. I mean, Bob, to be fair, if I was at the Grammys, if I ever made a popular music song, if I ever made a popular song and I was invited to the Grammys because I was nominated or whatever, and Taylor Swift won an award, low-key, I'd probably do this. I'd probably try the same thing. I'd probably try the same thing. Yeah, I don't like Taylor Swift. Anything to humiliate her would be very fun. I'm gonna let you finish. Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. Exactly. So thank you, dude. That is iconic. I fucking hate Beyonce, but that shit is fucking funny when Kanye did that. That is some of the funniest shit ever. Jan, thank you for the 2+ hour stream here. We're almost at 2 hours. 5 minutes from now we will be. Good here. Good night. See y'all next week live. Hey, Randy, thank you for coming by, my good sir. Really appreciate that. Harry, you would be wrestled to the ground and dropped by this. I mean, Randy, given that, again, this is assuming that I have a song popular enough to warrant me being invited to the Grammys as an artist. Assuming that I'm invited. I mean, to be fair as well, I'm a big guy. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be able to fight off all the security, but I might be able to dip and dodge them a little bit. I'll give them a little bit of the 1-2. Give him a little bit of the 1-2 sidestep, probably from the music video. Harry would be... Suds, yes. Harry would be confused with Jelly Roll. Bro, low-key, I just get like 2 or 3 face tattoos. I could fucking disguise myself as Jelly Roll, 100%. Not that I want to be confused with a fat cunt or anything, but I mean... It's sour grape. It's, tomato, basically, at that point. You still don't do that. I mean, I know you still don't, but I 100% would. I 100% would. That's what Donald Trump has been doing for the last 3+ years, and he probably still will get the Republican nominee next year. Weirdly enough, I was about to say this year, but we're December. We're not 2024 yet. Instead of being used to 2023, I'm trying to jump the gun to 2024 already. To be fair, I've been doing 25 Days of Harry the past month, so it almost feels like it's 2024 already. Harry would have tackled Nick Taylor. I just want to tackle anybody who has either Taylor or Swift in their name. I want to do that to anybody. After winning the Canadian Open golf tournament. Fuck you mean still? What the fuck you mean still? Trump is a lock as the nominee. Sons, I'm trying not to upset the liberals. Sons, keep in mind, legitimately though, I'm very happy that Donald Trump is the nominee. I'm not a Republican anymore. I'm more of a centrist, slightly leaning towards Republican, but it's very fun to see. It would be really funny Joe Biden final, Donald Trump Joe Biden presidency battle. I forget what their fucking election. Fuck. Why do you guys still watch me when half the time I can't even say the words that are actually meant to be said? Fucking presidential battle. To be fair, if they were, if it was called a presidential battle, there probably would be approximately 10 million more people watching, I think. Harry was the backup right tackle for the Grey Cup winning Montreal Alouettes. Fucking right, Bob. I better be seeing that goddamn cup soon. I wasn't at the parade. I couldn't make it. I was too busy being fat, but I mean, I mean, I don't know. That was such a fucking lame joke. Why did I laugh at it like 3 times? What the fuck? Not Bob's joke, the one I responded with. But yeah. Harry, be more funny if you left the stream but left it running into tomorrow. Randy, low key, that would be really funny. I will admit, there's a part of me that has wanted to do that before. Just leave the stream open and just go do other shit in like the other room. But at the same time, or even just like close the webcam and just keep like the Griddy running. Low key, what I should do is start a third channel. Just like as like a random project. Just start up like a third channel. Maybe in the new year that's what we'll do. Start up a new channel. Oh, Bob, you're not on timeout. You're in the chat. I can see you. I believe everybody can actually see you because you're in the chat box here too. Fuck was I saying? Like, I should start like a third channel, technically a third channel, because the HRH Still Archive channel is technically a second channel, but yeah, I should start like a channel, another channel. Have I said channel enough times yet? No, legitimately, I should start that, and all it is just like a 24-hour loop of the fucking Jake Walman Griddy. Like, that's literally all it should be. It's just like, maybe not like constant, maybe just not like constant, because I don't think I'd be able to get that like all the time, especially since I'm still doing the streams for the Canadiens, so I probably won't be able to do it all 24/7 running 2 live streams at the same time. But I think whenever like the Canadiens say don't play, I think it'd be really, really funny to just like no audio, or maybe just like background mode. Oh, Harry and Ghost mode? I should be good, I think. Notifications. Yeah, no, we're good. We're not getting any lag, I don't think. Are we, boys? Are we getting any lag? I don't think we are. Bob might just be lagging, unfortunately. That would really suck if Bob was lagging right now. Background noise would be bad for you, bud. Background noise, no lag, Harry. Okay, good. All right, so yeah, Bob, just refresh the stream. That might help. Either refresh the stream or like check on your Wi-Fi. I'll get to the rest of the comments, by the way, in a second. I know there's a couple that I missed. But like, just have the Jake Walman like Griddy going on. Get some like background music, like some copyright-free music, and just like see how many people would join, how many people would subscribe, just to see like. I'm sure it's been good for a while. Hasn't been lagging. All right, perfect, Renee. Thank you for that as well. Thank you. But like, I should do that because that'd be really funny. Like, see how many people subscribe just to see like a 24-hour stream of the Griddy. That would genuinely be really funny. I honestly could work on that. I mean, I probably could actually. Thinking about it, like, might be something I work on. But yeah. More funny, I just read that. Biden and Trump should box. That would be really funny. That's how they determine the presidency. Is just a boxing match. That would be really funny. It would probably outsub the main channel. Dude, it probably would, sons. Like, let's be honest. Like, there would be Red Wings fans that come by to subscribe to that channel, obviously. There would probably be just hockey fans because, like, oh, this is funny. This is funny. The Griddy is just the entire channel. And I just realized I completely forgot to update the fucking donation goal. Let me do that really quickly. So the goal amount, $5. Title, December dono goal. End after 12/31/2023. Start goal. There we go, boys. We now have the December donation goal. It is $5. We'll see if we can get that. Links in the description, boys. But yeah, did you hear about White Lung COVID Season 2? What is White Lung, sons? I don't think I've heard of that at all. Wings rule the Habs world. I mean, Savage Clap. December 2nd, 2017. Definitely speaks otherwise, my guy. Because last time I checked, I believe that was a fucking weird one. Yeah, last time I checked, it did not end well for the Detroit Red Wings, or as they should appropriately be called, especially as of recently, the Detroit Dead Things. So, yeah, that ain't too hot. Paul Byron owns your franchise. That's all I'm gonna say. But legitimately, it probably would outside. Sorry, I had to cough real quick, and I didn't want to be really loud on stream. But yeah, legitimately, it probably would. Like I said, sons, like with this channel, or with that channel, like again, Red Wings fans would come by. There'd be hockey fans, like, oh, this is really funny. Let's subscribe. Why not? And then there'd just be general like fans of the Griddy. I don't know if there's any like fans of just the Griddy, but people that would like that would be coming by, looking Joey Decord. All right, give me a second. Oh my fucking god. This is gonna be great. Probably my best comeback yet. And holy fuck. God damn, Sporty. That's sick. I will come visit you. Oh god. Son, stop. I'm not fucking Boogie. Don't fucking. No, legitimately though. That is thank you, sons. I appreciate the White Lung thing. That looks fucking tragic. So the Wings, they end up going to the power play. Monahan gets called for a small cross check. Oh my God, he's boogie. I set myself up. I set myself up for that one, didn't I? Son of a bitch. You know what? Hey, at least I'm not dating a 19-year-old like Boogie. So there's that. At least I'm not dating a minor. That is a joke, YouTube. That is alleged. That is just a joke. That is a very, very funny joke. But Monahan gets called for a cross-check on Walman. You kind of had to know they were going to get one back, especially after the 5-on-3. Wings try to press. Habs are able to clear. Allen actually has a decent save as Larkin sort of throws it right at him. It's Habs are 1 for 2 on the on the PK tonight. Shots are 20-15 for the Red Wings. They have a 4-2 lead after 40 minutes of play as well. It would be acceptable for you to date a 20. It would be acceptable if you were to date a 19-year-old. What are 23? What are 23? Date a 19-year-old. What are 23? Sons, you might have to. I'm sorry, Sons. You might need to rephrase that because I don't know what the fuck you mean by that. Aside from, what are you? I'm 21, Sons. I thank you for thinking I'm 23. I'm fucking 21. See, but yeah, no, like, yeah, obviously it'd be acceptable. The equivalent of Boogie being like 48 dating a 19-year-old would be like me dating a 15-year-old. Like, that's fucking weird. I mean, technically me dating a 17 and under, but you know what I mean? Like, that'd be the equivalent of me dating a fucking 15-year-old. Like, you know what like, that would be fucking crazy. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Close enough. I mean, Sons, that is true. 2 years difference, so 23, 21, yeah, close enough. Would not be bad if you have a different GIF every time the Habs lose. For example, GIF, Marc-Andre Fleury, Ken goal if... Oh, Marc-Andre Fleury goal if Vegas beat the Habs. Sons, please don't clip that, actually. Please don't. Randy, honestly, that would be sick. That would be sick, Randy. That would be great. The only thing is, like, at this point in the season, I'd need to do a lot of, like, okay, well, what can I find for this team, and then this team, and this team, and this team? You know, like, there's obvious ones like Fleury with Vegas, potentially Vegas, maybe more Minnesota, and probably Vegas. Toronto, I'd have to get the Matthews, like, ear thing, because that'd be funny. Like, St. Louis, probably Binnington doing something stupid. Like San Jose, I could probably just get a gif of a trash can if we ever lose to them, because, like, yeah. Yeah. To be fair, Andy, yeah, I do have time on my hands. I mean, I especially will after, like, 5 minutes, because... 5 minutes. After, like, 5 days a week from now, because I'm working still on 25 Days of Harry. I've got, like, 3... Technically, I have 2 videos left to work on, but one of them's going to be done... One of the 3 videos I have to work on is going to be done after the 5th. I don't want to spoil anything, but... It will be done after the 5th, probably, so, yeah. But I have 2 videos left. One of them can really only be recorded, like, 2-3 days before it's posted. Oh, yeah, Randy, if we're going, like, historical, like, overall, not just, like, current players, then, yeah. The Steve Smith own goal for Edmonton. Kessel with the hot dogs in the cup, like Bob said, for Pittsburgh. Philly could be, like, Ron Hextall hacking someone. The Senators can just be... Well, that could be another trash can, actually. The Rangers... could be Yager. Pittsburgh could also actually be Yager. The Flames could be Yager. The Panthers could be Yager. The Bruins could be Yager. The Stars could be Yager. The Caps, I think I don't mention them. They could be Yager. So, like, there's like half the league that could be Yager at that point. We're closing in on San Jose Sharks Isles game night. Suns, which means that we are that much closer from you getting kicked out and banned for life from the UBS Arena. And I'm here for it. For those who don't know, Suns is going to the Islanders and Sharks game, and he said if they lose, he's getting banned from the UBS Arena. You know what they say, Harry? 15 will get you 20 in prison. Yes, sir, Bob. 15 will get you 20 in prison. That's funny. I like that. Thank you, Bob. Exactly. That's just one of a multitude of reasons why I don't date underage. Firstly, it's fucking gross. Secondly, it's illegal. Thirdly, it sends you to prison. And also, fourthly, no interest. Don't know if no interest should really be fourth instead of, like, first or second, but, like, the point being I don't date underage. Well, I mean, technically I don't date at all, but... Fuck. I mean, technically I don't date at all, but, I mean, you know what I mean. Harry, we need that Yager. God damn it, Sons. Coming in with Harry, we need that Yager kissing gift for the Penguins. God, we're really gonna make this just a clusterfuck of a stream look, aren't we? I love it, though. Harry, if it's your first time or second, really, you would get on good behavior. Bob, you know what? That's very true. I get in for bad behavior, and I get out on good behavior. It's very ironic. Speaking of getting out, I actually just watched Raising Arizona for the first time the other night. It was fairly fun. Pretty solid. Worked for me. Oh, God, Bob. Oh, God. But yeah. Speaking of getting on good behavior, yeah, Raising Arizona. It was pretty fun. It was a good movie. Not one of my favorite Coen brothers, but it was solid. It was a decent movie. Harry, also the oh God. I thought I chipped my tooth for a second. Harry, oh yes, the Pellic OV pick for the Isles. Believe me, sons, yes, I would consider doing that. The Coen brothers. Is it not a Coen brothers movie? Raising Arizona? If you dress as Jelly Roll, you would be dating endlessly. You know what, Randy? Probably. I'd probably actually get matches on Tinder then, at that point. Or the autistic Tinder. I don't want to say what it's called because I don't want people stealing my girls, but no, legitimately, yeah, no. I low-key, I probably, unfortunately, would actually be dating endlessly. Oh, I thought you said something else. That would be rascal oppression. What? Sons, send it to me in Discord, because I have no clue what the hell you think I said. What the fuck did you think I said? Because I genuinely cannot understand what you think I would be saying that would be warranting of rascal oppression. Look at DMs. I mean, I think I might know now looking at it, but... Sons, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I did not say that at all. The Coen brothers. The Coen brothers. Fucking Burn After Reading. Big Lebowski. Raising Arizona, because we're on that. Fucking, I think, Heil Caesar. Hey, no problem, Randy. Thank you for coming by. I'm actually going to look at my DVD copy now. Never mind, it's on the bottom of the other shelf. I'm not going to do that right about now. But hey, thank you for coming by, Randy. Appreciate that, my guy. Holy fuck. Okay, I'm actually going to move my wire. There we go. Harry, did you happen to see the play of Mitchell... Did you happen to see the play of Mitchell Stevens tonight? His stats weren't reported except the penalty he took. I thought he played okay. He had a couple decent chances of scoring. On net, he had a couple decent chances, I should say. Played well. Wasn't entirely noticeable for the wrong reasons. He had a decent game. I think if you're using him on a fourth line, 8-9 minutes a night, I think there's no problem keeping him in right now. I think he actually played fairly okay. Impressive for a guy making his Habs debut against his former team. Played well, and yeah, I think he looks okay. I think he wouldn't be a terrible fourth liner for the Canadiens for a couple weeks. I don't think. Habs go to the PK minute in. Anderson gets called for a hold on Compher. Compher then took Anderson down. Habs fans wanted a penalty. I thought the Anderson penalty was actually the fair one to call because, again, he is holding Compher. Habs were able to win some puck battles. They were able to send the puck down all the way. I actually did like Armia being near the blue line when the Red Wings were trying to pressure looking to get a break. Habs are 2 for 3 on the PK tonight. Habs then go to the power play themselves as DeBrincat's called for a hook on Ulinen. I do remember TFS Sons. I do remember the British Islander. I do remember him indeed. Wonder what he's doing. Dude, me too. He's probably drinking tea, eating some crumpets, and watching some Islanders hockey and suffering all the same while doing so. Yeah. So Ulinen tried to break in. DeBrincat hooks him. And the Canadiens score, surprisingly. The captain, Nick Suzuki, pulls up big time. Mike Matheson with the lone assist there. A good wrister. Beats Ville Husso. Gallagher was in front of the net there. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-3 deficit on the power play. And the Canadiens have 15 minutes left to potentially tie the game. We are, I believe, at this point, 1 for 5 on the power play tonight. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Indeed, Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society, which is a movie I do own on DVD. It is over on the first shelf, which you guys cannot see. And I'm just realizing that. Why the fuck is the... Okay, whatever. That's Rascal drinking tea. You think all British do the same? Well, Sons, what else is there to do for being British if you're not Oasis or Blur or a cunt? No, seriously though. Cole has the same amount of points as Cole. Well, you know what they say, Faggio. The better Cole did not sweep the worst Cole. Wait, no. The worse Cole did not sweep the better Cole. Wait, fuck. Wait, fuck me. Son of a bitch. Wonder if TFS cried when Lizzie died? Wait, what? Lizzie died. Huh? Wonder if TFS cried when Lizzie died. Who are we talking about now, sons? Who is Lizzie? Oh, Queen Liz. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. I was thinking of Elizabeth Olsen. I was like, what fucking movie did she die in recently? But no, that actually makes perfect sense. Yeah, the Queen. Probably not. Are you acoustic? Faggio, unironically, yes, probably. I am self-diagnosed as of this moment. As of this moment right now, I am self-diagnosed acoustic. Yes. All right. So the Canadiens trailing 4-3 now. We then go to the PK. Mitchell Stevens is called for a high stick on Lucas Raymond. That sucks. Habs over to clear the puck, getting it all the way down. Some good kills. Nice puck battles against the boards. Habs are 3 for 4 on the PK. Habs then look for some chances. Armia is put on the top line at this point. He has actually had a pretty noticeable game. He had a couple decent chances. Habs get some shots. All four lines were really clicking after some line changes were made. They looked solid. There was missed chances on both ends of the rink. Wings on a wide open net send the rebound just over the net and Jake Allen. Good, I guess you could say chance there, just doesn't get put home. Habs didn't have pressure. Slaffa's getting to the front of the net. Some good looks for the top six on the Canadiens. Habs with 6 minutes left, working hard. They're doing their best to pressure the wings, keeping them hemmed in. Red Wings racing the puck a couple times, and the Canadiens score a tie game. You have a kid and you see Ted the Bear from the movie Ted Gat. What are you doing to him? Sons sitting him down and asking if he's gay. That might not be what most people do, but I'd be more concerned. Not that he's gay, but just like, I'd be concerned, but I'd have to get the obvious out of the way right away. And if he is, then that kind of makes sense. If he isn't gay, I'd have to ask if he's acoustic. And if he somehow isn't that, well then, I'd have to assume that he's a serial killer. But we're not gonna be too judgmental on this stream. But yeah, so the Canadiens score. Gustav Lindstrom, his third as a Montreal Canadien. This is a guy who had 3 goals in 128 games, I think I said, with the Red Wings. He has 3 in about 30 with the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, because he would know if he's acoustic or not. I mean, sons, you can kind of tell when you are or are not acoustic. I mean, I'm sure you would know if you are or not, but I mean, that's for us to know and you to find, or that's for you to know and us to find out. But yeah, sorry. Actually, Gustav Lindstrom. Actually, he's not played all 30 games with the Montreal Canadiens. He has 3 goals in 11 games. This is a dude who, actually, he hasn't even had 3 games. He's had 2 goals in 128 games with the Red Wings. He now has 3 in 11 with the Montreal Canadiens. This is a dude who has played very well. I would know. What about you? I can kind of sense it. So the Habs trying to tank or be mid. Like Son said, yeah, kind of be mid. I mean, establish a winning culture. Just kind of be very competitive in games, even if you end up just being a kind of 500 team out as a result. I think that actually shows improvement towards the team. And I think it actually shows that if we weren't as injured as we were with Doc being out and New Hook now being out and Jack-Eye and Harvey Pinard and Pizzetta kind of and Savard, all these guys being hurt, that if they weren't hurt, we probably would be in the playoffs at the end of the year. Of course, if at the end of the year, if we're like 5-10 points out. No weenie for Celebrini. Faggio, surprisingly, no. We didn't get Bedard. I figure there's no use in going after the Walmart version of Connor Bedard. Instead, we're just probably going to draft Ivan Demidov 7th overall somehow. But Harry has the sped sense. Yes, I do, sons. Yes, I do. So yeah, Gustav Lindstrom gets his 3rd as a Canadian. Anderson and Evans with the assist. Very solid pass from Anderson on a bit of a spinorama. Good pressure is what leads to the game tying goal, by the way. It is 4-4 with 4 minutes left. So the Canadiens strike 4 minutes into the third and 4 minutes left in the third period. There's then a weird turnover about 20 seconds after the next faceoff. Suzuki has a chance that's just stopped. He then gets another one that's shot wide, unfortunately. Actually had a little bit of time, but just didn't realize it like Caulfield last game. Final 3 minutes, Wings push. There's a good save by Allen. Habs looked for more. They pushed with under a minute, but the Wings are just able to board the puck. And so we are heading into overtime. The shots are tied 30-30 as the game is also tied up totally 4-4 headed into the overtime period. Wings win the faceoff. They just rag it a little bit, maintaining control. And they win on a wide open net wrapped around by Larkin. He somehow misses. However, on the rebound, they just clear view. Jake Allen's in net. He's properly positioned. Jake Walman with a slapper, and he puts it by Allen glove side. So we talked about how Caden Primo's glove hand is trash. Let's not forget about Jake Allen. The only good glove hand we have on the team is Sam Montembeault. So yeah, Jake Allen allows a very shitty goal. Jake Walman gives you the Griddy. Why do I feel like there's something at my window? Weird. Felt like there was like something like clawing at it, but I just looked and there was nothing there. Okay, gents, I'm off like a prom dress. Thank you, Bob. Been lost to laughs as always. I'm gonna be getting gritty with it. God, I did not want to remember that Will Smith song. Thank you though. Peace out. Keep your stick on the ice. Cheers, Bob. Thank you for coming by, my good sir. Much appreciate it. Keep your stick on the ice too. Enjoy your getting gritty with it, my guy. Thank you very much, Bob, for coming by, my good sir. So Jake Walman hits the Griddy after the game-winning goal. I'll admit I smiled a bit after that. We only saw it on the rebuild, but on the replay. But I was like, oh shit, did Walman get the game-winning goal? Because I saw him doing the Griddy, and I was like, oh shit, okay, you know what? That's kind of okay. So the final score, 5-4, Wings win it in overtime, and they have the only shots. Later, boys, na 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 na. Yeah, you guys finish the rest. So the final shots are 33-30 for the Wings. They get the only 3 shots in overtime. The Canadiens did not touch the puck once. There actually was a chance. The Wings came out of the zone, and they almost gave it right up to Caulfield. However, unfortunately, they just na 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 na, getting gritty with it. I'm very surprised that the Red Wings fans have not done getting gritty with it, honestly. Or the Flyers fans. Very surprised. Especially the Flyers fans. Because, like, Will Smith, Fresh Prince, Philadelphia, like, very surprised neither organization has done the getting gritty with it thing yet. Big Harry style. Yes, sir. We ain't got Big Willie energy. We got Big Harry energy. Let's go, baby. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, man. Getting gritty. I was thinking of the na-na-na thing at first. The na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I mean, that just gave me an idea. I'm going to be completely honest. Let me actually see. Not right now, but let me see if I could somehow... Let me see if I could, like, work with this. I don't think I can. I don't think I can work with this. Okay, revised, medium-sized, Harry style. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the medium size. You gotta make me feel better about wearing a double XL. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, boys. So, almost 2.5 hours into the stream. It's about 12:45. We're gonna do the stats for the Canadiens and head on out of here because... Let's be honest, you need to go to bed probably, and I need to rest my voice. Walman's a beaut. Post-game presser talked about the new Fortnite season. I'm sorry, the what now? I just didn't want to assume anything inappropriate. Hey, don't worry, Bob. Don't worry, my guy, because we all know that's the number one concern with the Harry Ice channel is keeping it PG, definitely. That's absolutely the number one concern with the channel. That's really funny, Fudge. I didn't know we talked about the Fortnite season. That's really funny. What about Stefan Digson? Yes, sons. Yes, Stefan Digson. Definitely. That is something. Oh my god. Son of a bitch. I did not fix the point scores. Did I not? Okay, no. I think I fixed everyone else except the two. Keep it classy, San Diego. Exactly, Bob. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I was gonna say the second variation, but I was like, nah. We'll keep it classy for San Diego. We'll keep it classy. Nick Suzuki leads the Canadiens with 7 goals, 14 assists, 21 points. Good to see the captain leading the team in points. That's always nice. Goal, Caulfield has 7 goals, 12 assists, 19 points. Mike Matheson, 5 goals, 13 assists, 18 points. Say it, Harry. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. Thank you. I've seen it. I've seen bits of Anchorman. I've never seen the full movie, but I've seen little bits of it. Alex Newhook, 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 points. Mike Matheson has 5 goals, 13 assists, 18 points. Say it with me now. Remember when he wasn't playing like a top 15 D-man about 5 games ago? Yeah, me neither. Alex Newhook has 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 points. Sean Monahan, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points. Sorry, Alex Newhook, who's now out for 3 months. I can keep completely forgetting to just read him out right now. That is Matheson. I really hope that's not bad voodoo. What the fuck? Okay. Sean Monahan has the exact opposite. 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points. Brendan Gallagher and Justin Barron each have 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points. Caden Gooley, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. Tanner Pearson, 3 goals, 7 assists, 7 points. He's not had a point in a hot minute. Juraj Slafkovsky, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. Jake Evans, a goal, 6 assists, 7 points. Jonathan Kovacevic with 4 goals. Surprisingly on pace for about 15 goals this year. Jesse Ullinen and Gustav Lindstrom both have 3 goals and assists for 4 points. Christian Dvorak with the opposite of 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. Raphael Harpinard, who's currently injured, with 4 assists. Yoel Armia with 3 goals. Arbor Jacki, who's currently out, don't know how long. Okay? And Michael Pezzetta both have a goal, 2 assists, 3 points. Jordan Harris, who's out long term, and Josh Anderson both have 3 assists. Kirby Dach, who's out for the remainder of the year, and David Savard, who's out roughly 2 to 4 weeks at this point, have 2 assists. Jake Allen, actually, there was someone else I did not update. Did they have an assist in the game? They might have. I remember that it was said that they did. Let me actually find this real quick, because I know there was a thing where it was like, is it really not going to be here? Son of a bitch, it's actually not going to be here. God damn it. I was looking for the thing. I know there's a thing that said Jaden Struble had his second assist with Canadiens tonight. I'm going to include that, so yeah, hopefully that's still accurate. So Struble actually has 2 assists, but Allen and Primo all have both with an assist on the year. Arbor Jacki has 3 fights. Michael Pezzetta has 2. Josh Anderson and Tanner Pearson each with a fight. Julian fucking Gauthier is outscoring Josh Anderson in 2023 Suns. Oh, God. And he probably will outscore him in 2024 as well. Let's just be completely honest. Dude, I really fucking hope you say that, and then it's like next game he just goes off and gets like a hat trick. God, we seriously need fucking Josh Anderson to score some goals, because it's like, this motherfucker is just really going to be getting $5.5 million for three assists on the year. Highlight Harbor, how's it going, my good sir? Thank you for coming by, man. We're getting a lot of viewers now because it's 12:45 a.m. Who, Julian Gauthier? He will have a Hattie and I will be in tennis. No, Josh Anderson. I want Josh Anderson. Fuck Julian Gauthier. He could miss the next 8 games and I would not care. Do they play next? Oh my God, they do play oh my God, that's on the 5th. Please tell me the Canadiens. I'm pretty sure our next game is... Technically it is tomorrow. Oh my God, yes. Holy shit. Oh my God, I'm going to get to watch that game, boys. I'm going to get to watch the New York Islanders and the San Jose Sharkies. Oh my God, this is going to be funny. I'm going to love this. Alright, boys, so yeah, that is going to do it, I think, for tonight's stream. By the time I finish the outro, it should be 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't think you should be getting greedy. That's really good. Fuck Josh Anderson. I'd rather have Julian fucking Gauthier any hour. Well, Suns, you know what I'd rather have? Stanley Cup. So yeah, Josh Anderson, I think, knows what the finals looks like, so yeah. So that's going to do it for today's stream, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share, includes, but it's not limited to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything else. My name is Trice. Subscribe to the Puff Club, H Clubs, Hub Up, D Nation. If you're a member of the Mod Squad, thank you more to comments on streams, and it is much greatly appreciated. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Links to the description are the Amazon wishlist, the PO Box, PayPal, the Discord, Livebox, Twitter account, the Twitch, the Discord, and the Streamlabs are all down there as well. Again, the December dono goal is just $5. So, yeah, I hope we can fucking hit that. So, yeah, that is again going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. or today's stream, sorry. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Rice and I. Julian fucking Gauthier is cool. Okay, man. You think so, sons. So yeah, we're just gonna stay up live for another minute and a half just until we can get to the 2.5 hour mark. Yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. 25 Days of Harry is still going on. We've got day 3 today. We will be wrapping up the DVD collection, so look forward to that. I know we got about 2 viewers and 3 seconds of average view duration for the second video yesterday. Technically today still. If you're on the West Coast, it's still today. But yeah, go check out the 2 videos for 25 Days of Harry so far. Think you guys are going to like those. Jeff Molnar will be okay, Harry. Yes, indeed, we will. Don't worry, my guy. We will 100% be okay. Absolutely. So, yeah. We've got the DVD collection coming up. We've got the TV show stuff. We got some video game videos. We got some hockey content coming out for 25 Days of Harry. I think you guys are going to love this year. I've put in a lot of work for this year compared to most prior years. Like, real quickly, before the end of the stream, like, we got 30 seconds left, technically. If I can get the total amount of time of the videos so far, there is about 16 hours of content coming your way this month. Excluding these streams, by the way. Excluding these streams, 16 hours of content. So, I like hockey content. Hey, well, sons, you're going to love some of the content from this year, then. Believe you me. So, yeah, guys, that is going to do it for today's stream again. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Check out 25 Days of Harry. Subscribe for more. Hit the bell. Ring that bell. Please do that if you want to get notified. Or join the Discord. I notify everybody every time I go live and or post a video. Yeah, if you want to send anything my way for 25 Days of Harry for the Christmas Eve live stream, please do so. That'd be appreciated. You don't have to. However, you always can if you want to. Thank you guys for watching. And my name is Rice and I am out. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye, guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye. Christmas Eve live stream. We also might be playing a game. I don't know yet, but we'll see if we do.